You know, I never figured out what language I was going to use today. Welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the lovely Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network.
Oh, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
My name's Ian, and this is the Let's Try program, where we try to do things, and sometimes we're successful, and this time we have instructions. So hopefully we'll be fully successful in what we're doing. And what we're doing today
already.
is... Oh, sorry. Go.
No, the cops are here to bust us for doing Gunpla.
Ugh! Illegal toys. I mean, everything in here is the right size to get lodged in an infant's throat.
Is there such a thing as an illegal Gunpla? Like,
There must be garage kits that
Yeah.
are like off-brand.
or like recasts?
Yeah. Ooh.
There are some beautiful Chinese designs of Gundams that I would love to see in model form.
Ooh, do they have the Turn-A Gundam with its little mustache?
Oh, love the Sid Mead designed that.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, and he took no notes from anyone.
Yeah, it's
You don't say.
It was kind of weird.
But today we'll be building, what do we got here? I'm finishing up the Strike Freedom Gundam.
I'm a fake Gundam boy.
Oh no, you've got one of my favorites.
Oh, what is it?
That's the Gundam Mark II from Gundam Zeta.
Oh,
This one's ZGMF X10A Freedom Gundam.
Yeah, those are lots of numbers. I have no idea what that one does. I have no idea what this one does, but that one fell on a building.
I believe Alex's and Ian's are variants of each other.
Yes.
Oh, neat.
And of course, we all be using
using our...
God hand!
Apparently I have a rare God hand.
Do you? Because it's red?
I don't know.
Oh, it goes faster.
Yeah.
it 3 times faster.
Measurable.
There we go. Okay, now that we got that joke out of the way.
That's a very charming.
I know what it is. It took me a while to like
Oh.
pick up on it, but yeah, it would be the red comet, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Now, if I
Spit.
remember correctly, gentlemen, is that Alex owns his own pair of God hands.
Yes.
Ian, I think, was given a set of God hand as well.
Correct.
I think Loading Ready Run has a God hand. Is that the
Really?
one that Cameron is using, or is
No, this is
Cameron's
my
own?
God hand.
So there's a fourth unaccounted for God hand.
You
pretty
stay away
sure.
from my God hand, Peach.
You're damn right, I will. I know there's another one then floating around somewhere. I don't know where it is,
Well,
unless that is Ian's, and that it's been allocated in that way because who else is going to use it? Who else would take care of it?
Keep it oiled. Which reminds me, I need to oil my airsoft.
ooh,
I remember going into the shaver shop and like asking for a God hand, and they were like, "Oh, this way, sir."
Well, that's
see you're a
good.
man
Now
of
they know that you're
culture.
not screwing around.
Yeah, and they showed me the case, and I bought the mid-priced God hand because, you know, it was $10 more than the cheapest God hand, but the expensive God hand was like $50 more.
Yeah, well, that one, you just sort of like aim it at the plastic and it just parts.
Yeah, it actually just has like,
It yields.
yeah,
That is the one you take on the road when you're looking for Buddha.
in case you need to cut the
If
the
if a
titular god.
gunpla would be encountered, gunpla would be cut.
You would never, and like, what is a better tool to cut things for a sprue, really?
I'm pretty. Oh shit!
Could you use a laser?
That's the first thing I was
I
thinking.
don't
would
think
say
so
no.
yeah,
because it would melt.
the plastic.
I think if anything, it might be water jet.
But that would be super inconvenient.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But would it leave a cleaner edge?
I don't think so.
There's got to be like diminishing returns as well because it's like we got 2% more gooder edge, and it cost us $400,000.
Per second.
Water jet. I didn't realize for quite a long time that there's actually abrasive leached into the stream.
Really?
It's there.
Yes,
that makes
that's how
sense.
it cuts.
Right.
Because I was like, there's no way water gets that like dank. I know it's uncompressible and stuff, but yeah, a small amount of abrasive is released into the stream, which is how it can cut through steel like it wasn't there.
That makes sense.
The weird part that I can't figure out is the nozzle end is sapphire.
Interesting.
It's some kind of precious stone, and I don't know why.
I mean, probably because it holds up very well to abrasives.
I guess.
Yeah.
I was confused as to why they used those sorts of artificial rubies and whatnot in watches. And I was like, oh,
Well,
because it
apparently it's
doesn't wear
real
down.
hard. But at that point, why wouldn't you just use diamond? Oh, because it can be made artificially. Well, so can diamonds, but
I guess, yeah, obsidian is, or amethyst's just cheaper, maybe? Easier to make?
There must be some reason.
there's usually a reason. Sometimes it's very boring. But there's usually a motivation behind it. Very seldom do people just do things for no reason at all.
I'm currently stuck in the most difficult part of doing a Gunpla, picking up a Gunpla build, figuring out where you left off.
Right.
All I know is I got a badass here.
A badass. Uh-oh. Where?
Yeah, just like that.
There's some parts missing. Where did they go? Yeah, I'm definitely missing some parts.
Okay.
Oh well.
Legs assembled. Good. Arms assembled. Good. Cheese
Cheese.
assembled.
Cheese.
Hi.
We just got our Tokyo treat box today.
Oh,
good.
dude, let's crack that bad boy
Let's
open and
ju-
just
yeah,
eat
let-
the entire thing.
Yeah, let's eat it into the microphones.
If you think that I haven't already done that, here comes Umaibo Chizu Aji.
Oh god.
Wait, are
Cheese
you already
aji.
eating the stick?
The delicious stick.
What?
That, yes.
Oh, God.
Umaibo.
I was kidding, but that is like the giant Cheeto,
Yeah.
right?
It's a single Cheeto.
And this is cheese flavored, and so therefore it just tastes like a giant Cheeto.
That's amazing.
They make machines in Japan that you can use to shoot those into your mouth. You can buy them at the Tokyo hands.
What a weird country.
I wouldn't say weird, just different priorities. I think no, and this is actually one of my theories. I think they put a little bit more priority on having fun in life, which would make sense given the stereotype about their work ethic.
Yeah, things changed a lot after 45. Yeah, I mean, I was just watching. I finally downloaded the Batsu games from 2019 and 2020,
Oh, nice.
and they're pretty funny.
How are the subtitles?
Very good. They're all done. Like I forgot about it for a while, and finally like picked it up. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen them yet, so they're good. You don't need to translate to. Well, actually, they're excellent subtitles because they're the cultural context subtitles,
Yay.
where a character will come out and a little like paragraph pops up at the top where it's like, this person is like a well-known, sportscaster or something. Which I find is very useful for that because a lot of the jokes lean very heavily on like extremely contemporary like Japanese culture.
Yes.
Like giving someone the gears over what their
It's
their
just
job
like,
is,
oh,
right?
having this person show up doing this role is fucking hilarious. It would be like,
Okay.
Like when Peter Mansbridge was in Zootopia, just in the
Oh.
Canadian market.
Right.
That only is funny to us because we know who Peter Mansbridge is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it's almost like Werner Herzog showing up in The Mandalorian,
Right.
Yeah.
which is like, that's weird.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of nerds who are going to love that, and the rest of the people are going to be, who's that funny German man?
I want to see the baby. But yeah, like a lot of the jokes are like that in Gaki no Tsukai, like especially their Batsu game, because they really empty the drawers on the jokes that they can do. Cause
Well, they're year-end capper.
exactly, and they'll just be like, bring on whoever, and like there's a lot of people who really wanted to be on the show, and they finally get a chance, and it's very silly.
I managed to track down the remaining seasons of Documental. However, those have yet
yes.
to be subtitled.
I want to see that. Right. I think it was the 2019 one. There's a guy who is a quadruple amputee, and he does like sportscasting and stuff, and he's always wanted to be on the show. So he shows up as R2D2 and just screams at them, and they just can't handle it. Like he rolls in on a wheelchair that has like this huge R2D2 maquette put around it, and just like plays sounds and goes wow with his like face sticking out, and they can't deal with it.
Is he making a face? Is he
Oh
just
yeah, he's
gonna-
making a face. He like
Okay.
rolls up to Matsumoto, looks at him, and goes wow. It's so fucking funny. And he's so over the moon to be on the show.
Huh.
It's very charming.
One of my favorite things about those shows is the way that they will. If a joke doesn't land, that doesn't mean you're not going to hear it again.
Yeah.
In fact, it means that you were guaranteed going to hear it.
Oh, that one didn't work?
Yep.
Here it comes again.
Let's try it again. Like they of course did the Oni segment, and they always, because Matsumoto he's got, I don't remember what his health problem is, that he can't do like physical activity as much, and they always like hostage him, but they get one person to replace him, and it's usually a celebrity. And this year they got like a champion boxer from Japan. He's like, I've always wanted to be on this show. It's just like,
Very cute.
yeah. Okay, where are we?
Good question.
B1.
So I was mentioning just before the show started, I'm currently in the process of Internet of Thinging my lights, at least, just because I want to get to that point where I can have the motion sensors, so that the lights can turn off when I leave and turn on when I enter a room.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought you were going to say, I want to get to that point where the PRC can control the lighting in my living room.
So that was my next point. And so I go to Costco, I grab these dimmer switches, because I found out that using screw-in light bulbs that's the sucker's method. That's how you get you. You gotta get as close to the metal as you can, which means getting right in those electrical boxes, which, by God, I am so angry with my electrical boxes in my building.
Oh yeah.
But the first thing I did was wire them up, and then immediately go back to my computer and reflash them with firmware that is non-PRC devised.
What's PRC,
The
Precious?
People's Republic of China.
Sorry, what?
This is one of the things people worry about. Is
Oh,
that they're like,
no.
all the stuff coming out of China, there's a very good chance that a lot of it might be compromised.
Oh, this is like the Huawei stuff that they were really like,
Yeah.
not even paranoid about. It's just like, it's literally full of like Chinese government wiretapping stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, what are they going to do? They're going to be able to turn my lights on and off, or know when my lights are on and not.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, and like, it was back doors, wasn't it? Which, you know, is one thing, but yeah, if it's the PRC, that's kind of like one use case, but the other use case is like Belarusian teenagers using PRC backdoors to make your light bulbs mine Bitcoin.
That's the real business.
Well, that was one of the best observations I saw last week, was the brouhaha going around about the F-35 in America. They're saying, well, there's a new, they've done a new audit of the software, and there are, I think, 600 zero-day vulnerabilities
Oh, boy.
in the software of this plane, that all through the stack.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That sucks.
See, that's a real problem for the Americans. Except it turns out to be a really good thing, because there were leaks of the F-35 program, and China's basically has been known to actually copy them.
Oh no.
So basically, the Americans have zero-day hacks against the Chinese F-35s.
Okay, if they planned that, that would be so next level.
Wow.
May we live in interesting times.
Oh boy, that's my favorite curse.
That's,
Right?
wow.
Right?
That's, what is that? The Xanatos Gambit?
That is really intense.
I thought the Xanatos Gambit was just having a mullet.
Being voiced by Riker.
False. I do love little like snafus like that. You know, just like in the fields of like espionage and cryptography and stuff like that. It's like how they how Alan Turing and Bletchley Park got an edge on the Enigma code.
Oh, because German messages started with the same.
Yeah, the same thing. It's like
Same string.
weather, Heil Hitler, every time. And they're just like, there's a pattern here. So if we reverse engineer it, we can figure out what the rest of the message says
Yeah.
and send our convoys to blow up all their submarines. So, you know, by being predictable, that it gave it a vulnerability. Also, like all the machines that they built to just like brute force all the combinations. The bomb.
Mechanical computing.
Because I mean, I'm doing a bunch of research on this for my comic and finding out a bunch of like cool stuff about what they developed during the war. Because I feel like the Colossus gets most of the reputation as the thing that came out of Bletchley Park, like the first general purpose computer.
Right. Right.
And that one was really good. But before that, they had all of these like huge, you know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
dial machines. Although I think they covered that in there's a movie with,
The Imitation Game.
yeah, that's the one with Benedict Cumberbund Dingle Dong Ding Ding Ding.
Before we go any
Bunny
further,
Hug Cuddle Bunch.
Bunny Hug Cuddle Bunch.
before we go any further, Alex, so you mentioned your comic. Where can people find that?
Oh. Purifiercomic.com, or follow my Twitter at Alex Stacey, or the comic Twitter at Purifier Comic. It's also on Webtoons. Alternate 1930s or alternate history 1930s plague epidemic in London,
It's kind of rad.
which is becoming kind of unfortunately relevant right now. It's like, oh, good, a bunch of reference that I wish I didn't have.
But I'd like to ask you, Alex, have you ever been to the Living Computer Museum in Seattle?
It's in Seattle?
Yes.
I've not.
I highly recommend it, if only just to go see see one of the remaining Enigma machines.
Oh, that would be cool.
What was the name of the Polish cryptographer who actually was responsible for cracking the code?
I can't.
He's got a really cool looking memorial in Poland.
Just have to wait about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it anything like those like Yugoslavian monuments?
I don't know, actually.
Those are fucking cool. I don't actually know what they're commemorating, but there's like a whole series of these like very weird, like not like surrealist, but like abstract concrete sculptures all over Yugoslavia.
Marian Rajewski, yeah.
Oh,
That sounds right.
C6 and 7.
I feel like I'm missing a sprue.
Don't you hate it when you miss a
Oh,
sprue?
no, there we are. B2.
Yeah, that weird little transition from analog to digital computing, and like all the weird stuff that came out of that. I saw there was a computer, I think in Germany, in the early 30s that was all mechanical. And just like thinking about that, I actually saw there's in England somewhere, they have a reproduction difference engine.
Oh, really?
It's fucking awesome.
I bet.
It's just this giant, like, this huge column of, like, spindles and cogs and stuff, and they run it, and it just makes this, like, ka-chak, ka-chak, as it just, like, counts numbers up manually.
One of these days I will get myself a Kurta.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
if we find out a way to get, like, a bunch of Kurtas for cheap, which is not going to be possible,
Yeah, well,
yeah, you know, just discount Kurta calculators. I also really want one. For those of you who are curious, the Kurta is a mechanical adding machine that I think represents the very last stage of analog computing before the advent of like the digital calculator.
And they're fun to open.
No, don't ever open your Kurta.
I mean, the joke with the Kurta is that you pay for it twice.
Yes.
Because you pay for you buy a Kurta,
Yep.
and then you get to pay to have someone rebuild it.
Yeah.
After your dumbass takes it apart,
Yeah.
which you will do.
Yeah, they're a work of art. Because they do all basic functions, right? Like addition, subtraction,
They do
multiplication.
logarithms.
That's wow. Because they were for race cars, weren't they?
I don't know.
Like I think their original purpose was for doing calculations on like some sort of automotive thing. And I want to say that it was related to racing.
Maybe like endurance racing.
Maybe. I mean, it sounds like the kind of field where you would want to be making those kind of calculations. And it's just like, ugh, what a pain. If only we had a pepper grinder that told us what.
Yeah, because they're a small cylinder, and with many sliders on the side, and you set the sliders, and then you grind it.
Yep.
Like, it honestly sounds like something you'd want to use on a submarine.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they may have done.
Is that simply because it would fit in a small space, or because it makes lots of noise?
No, because of the small space thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me think it's like the Russian solution would be to have all the sailors like come in an arrangement and like each other.
The Russian
like-
solution is bring Yuri.
It's like
he's smart.
4 times 9. Clack, 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 clack. And one guy punches the other guy out. It's like, okay, it's 17 or something.
God, oh no, that was another scene in, what was it? Three Body Problem.
What?
It's a Chinese science fiction series.
I still haven't read it.
Ooh.
I need to.
Can I describe?
Oh,
the
yeah,
scene?
yeah, please.
It's they're trying to solve the problem. They're literally trying to solve the three body problem because they're dealing with a star system that has 3 suns, and because of the orbits, when one sun gets too close, it scorches the world and basically makes it uninhabitable.
Right.
So the people have evolved a way to hand wavy dehydrate themselves. Like, how do we calculate the 3 body problem so we can find out when the suns will predict when this will happen next?
Right.
And eventually, in order to do this, they've beamed a computer program to Earth to let Earthlings, in VR, help them out, because this is one of the tropes of Chinese science fiction, is that everything happens in VR.
Yeah.
But it's simulated as sort of they simulate it in the VR like ancient Chinese history. And one person comes up and says, okay, Emperor, I have an idea about how we can figure out how to solve the problem. We're going to need to get all of your millions of soldiers. We're going to turn them into a computer.
Oh, that's so fucking lit. It's like Minecraft.
Yeah, we're literally going to make each one of these people will be a bit. And we're going to arrange them into registers, and we're going to move them around.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, like, speaking of cultural relevant, or sort of, I don't know what to call it, but I watched Train to Busan, which is really good. It's been a million years since I watched an actually good zombie movie, and Train to Busan is that movie. A lot of the major plot points are articulated or like have to do with people using their mobile phones. It's just like a narrative extension. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, not that that doesn't happen in the States or Canada, but it was like a really noticeable theme.
Guess this is the floppy end of the cod piece. Does it go up there? Yes, it does. Good.
Get up there.
One side is very rigid, and one side goes a little bit floppier. There we go.
Deedle, deedle, deedle. I don't know why I didn't take these off in pairs. So I'm just going to have to do the same thing a second time.
How are the god hands?
Power!
It's like slicing through butter.
Clean.
We have some butter we could slice through.
I know.
That was very weird, by the way, that finding out that butter sculpting was a thing.
I'm surprised you weren't aware of it previously.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's like, okay. What I think bothered me more was there was some controversy I want to say it was at like the CNE or something,
Yes.
where people found out that the sculptures weren't solid butter, like they had
Armatures.
structure inside, and people were like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed." It's like, y'all are gonna be real disappointed when you find out about armatures.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I heard that the Statue of Liberty was not solid copper.
yeah, exactly.
How do you think the Ghostbusters got up there?
They just put on their magnet boots and walked on the outside, right?
But they turned into ghosts because that's their power.
That's their special power.
I also heard that humans aren't just solid skin all the way through.
Oh, that would be so gross. Oh, what a nauseating
Peeling
thought.
off layer after layer like an onion.
Just talking about like, oh, geez, I got another ingrown hair. Well, yeah, thousands of them.
I'm gonna make everybody throw up, but if you ever cut into a callus,
Yes.
it's like that.
I mean, that's how I get more callous.
It's a self-replenishing.
Oh, my friend Bruno has this tweet thread from months ago now about how Pokemon, all Pokemon are edible. The problem is they're made out of like this completely homogeneous, mealy kind of like substance that you can just dig into, and it's like, it has no flavor, but you realize that it's been decades and possibly centuries since a human being has eaten anything that isn't a Pokemon.
Oh. So like plasticine.
Yeah, a little bit. And you tell yourself that it has different flavors, but it really doesn't.
Wow. It's like
So like rockets.
It's like Fruit Loops.
that's like the matter they serve in Brazil. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
Terry Gilliam movie,
yeah.
where it's just like these scoops of slurm with like a nice printed out picture of like a steak dinner.
Yes, yeah.
I love that scene because the waiter gets super pedantic about him ordering by number. He's just like, you know, I'll have the like, you know, the entree or whatever. He's like, please, you know, it's like order by the number. And he's just like I'm busy, like don't bug me. And he like insists that he has to point to the number to get the order.
So what you're saying is Terry Gilliam predicted Starbucks.
Oh boy.
The Venti.
Brazil's a very good movie. It's very weird. My complications had some complications.
So did I remember hearing correctly that there's something going on with time bandits?
Really?
Oh, really? Just let the past die.
Big Lebowski is getting a sequel.
No, it's not.
Is it being made by
Mage-
the Coens?
Fucking lie to me.
It is not being made by the Coens.
No.
Then no, it isn't.
Yeah.
It is written, directed, and stars John Turturro.
Is it about the Jesus?
The Jesus Rolls. It's a remake, essentially, of 1974 European film Going Places. It's a little weird.
You don't say.
It's just a little weird that this is all but he's wanted to bring back
Yeah,
Jesus,
because I
guess, for
remember hearing
years.
that he wanted to actually make a Jesus movie.
And so he got permission from the Coens. They're like, yeah, you can go ahead and use the character. And so he did. He has done that.
That's honestly quite interesting.
Yeah. It's like, it's thematically nothing like The Big Lebowski. Don't go to it waiting to see The Big Lebowski.
Right.
Because apparently Going Places in the 1970s is like a very... Roger Ebert called it, I don't know if it's a work of art or a deeply misogynistic film. And people are kind of like, it was definitely very... It was trying to do a lot hedonistically.
Huh.
So it'd be a very interesting film.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll go see it.
I mean, that's probably like one of the better case scenarios in which The Big Lebowski could have a sequel.
I guess. Have you seen that? I mean, I wanted to call it a Vine, but it's they took the audio from The Big Lebowski of him getting interrogated in the bathroom, and they dubbed it over top of a baptismal.
Oh God, yeah.
It's
Where's the money?
Where's the money, shithead? Oh, it's probably this baby, just like this gormless look, is probably down there somewhere.
Let me look again.
It's so good.
I wish to see that baby.
It's
The baby looks stunned.
yeah,
Like it has no idea what's
it's
going
so
on.
haunted.
Like it's not crying or anything. It's just,
just like, what is
I
this?
trusted you.
Oh boy. Wait.
There it is. That's the face. Like it's trying to make... The baby is trying to make eye contact with someone.
Oh no!
So shook.
Like the baby is looking around the room,
Thank you, Jordan.
trying to find somebody who will put this to an end.
It's like, please make it stop.
Please help.
Oh, so
You're all just watching this happen, huh?
that's what's going on here. Cool.
Everyone's cool with this, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. I hecked up.
You know what? I'm gonna remember this.
And I'm gonna hold it over you.
Especially since when you put this online?
I don't think I could ever do that.
You mean
Get baptized?
Remember something from your...
There's a whole bunch of things you guys are saying, but specifically, it's
exploit your child?
it's dip children in water.
Oh! You know they shit themselves, right?
Yes.
I beg your pardon?
Specifically, I don't think that I could like do baptisms, like take a child like with a font and do that, because watching the priest do that, he's not watching where the kid is going. He's just staring at where the kid is going to end up, right?
Well, you got to do like 40 of them a day, right?
Yeah. And,
Like you just do them in batches.
and I'm like, he's really kind of going for it too, and I'm like, I would like miss. I would clonk that kid into the side of the thing. He'd be taking like low, slow walks for the rest of his life.
And then, like, if you donk them right into the side of the baptismal font,
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, right? Because like
God's
the
gonna
baby
get
hasn't
so
been
angry.
baptized
Yeah.
yet,
It's
right?
like, oh, he's going to purgatory. Oh boy. Do we have a topic that isn't blasphemy?
I mean, we could go back to the fact that he just never could get his baby wet.
That just
Sonic
that
shower.
pull quote out of context.
You know, I saw someone today saying that they literally bought a bidet for their child. They just hose it off on the end.
I guess.
Actually, yeah, they make they make diaper sprayers is what they call them, and you hook them with a T to your toilet cold water intake, and they're just basically like the thing you would have in your sink where you would like spray water around in your sink.
And that was exactly it. Yeah, it's just a little hose on a.
Yeah, with
Little
a
nozzle.
push button, right?
Yeah.
And it's like people
Baby bidet.
people use them to be like, well, I'll throw the cloth diaper in the toilet.
And just hose off the baby.
Yeah, just hold the thing down and I'll hose the diaper off, and then I can pull that out and put it in like something, and then I can also hose off the baby too while I'm at
So I'm just imagining you doing that now with the sonic shower.
it. Just like, hey, how do they do this in Star Trek?
They beam it away, right? It's like the Harry Potter thing where they just
We were
magic away the
literally
poops.
talking about that on Watch and Play the other day. So I was like, I didn't know if it was actually like canon. It's like wizards don't poop; they just like expelliarmus it away.
God damn.
But like space wizards poop, and they don't Jedi that shit away, right? Like obviously,
know.
so
I mean, that's part of the Force, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I've always thought so.
Well, it's like in
You don't smell anything.
Last Jedi, second one, where spoilers, he's projecting himself and he looks like he's about to shit. He's actually about to shit.
Well, I mean, that is what happens when you die, right?
Yeah, he's just like. Can you?
Yes, but in Star Trek, like, what do they actually do with children like
Ian,
that?
it would be nothing but blue milk.
You're right.
That's disgusting.
Oh God.
no, he ate raw fish too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Fish and milk.
Sushi.
Old man poops fish and milk.
That goes well in the sun.
Probably ate some porgs, as a treat. Luke can have.
Have a little pork as a treat.
Deep fried. So getting back to your question, Beach, yes, I think, God, they probably just put them in a hollow nursery and just let them
Probably.
do whatever they want.
Like, well, I have to, like, well, okay, because Keiko had a child.
Yeah. Well, Keiko was special. She was a botanist. She was probably confused as to why it wasn't just.
Are you okay?
Why does that matter?
Oh,
she's probably confused as to why it was hungry all the time, even though she was leaving under the light.
Making its own soil.
Like, my baby's incredibly tan, but it's crying like it wants food.
It wouldn't be tanned, it would just be red.
Set phasers to feed.
So, we will be at PAX East. Graham, Cameron, Corey, and Ben Ulmer will all be at PAX East. There was a question that came up in chat. You will find us in Bandland, which is generally beside the escalators. And as far as come by, get stuff signed, and I am planning on there being a whole bunch of remaining Road Quest merch, whatever is remaining. So if you're interested in getting stuff, please try to arrive there to get the remaining things.
Oh, I was supposed to say that at the end of Friday Night Paper Fight last week.
Oh,
Oops.
Okay.
I have bad news, Beach.
Yeah,
I didn't say that at the end of Friday Night Paper Fight last week.
that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't mind. I should have made slides, and I haven't done that yet. I got to do that.
Beach
still.
will remember that.
Yeah.
Sten disapproves.
Yeah.
Did Sten ever approve?
Who's
I never
Sten?
finished the game. It was from the first Dragon Age game. There was a character named Sten who was like just cranky all the time.
Did he
about
have a
everything.
brother named Bren?
No,
Should've.
unfortunately. Yeah, I
They
know,
missed
right?
a
That would
trick
have been a
there,
fun
right?
joke. But yeah, Sten was very cranky. He was a soldier. It turns out Sten is a rank, not a name.
Oh.
And he just didn't like anything you did, right? Like if you were like, "Hey, Sten, how's it going today?" Sten would just be like,
Fuck you.
"What does it matter how I feel today? We are fighting evil. Evil, and you waste my time with... How dare you?"
It's like, okay.
Yeah, all right, Sten, have a good one. How dare you?
Why are you so intense?
It's like, you're at a 10, we need you at about a 4.
Not intense. I'm instense.
I heard that as instants. Like, ugh, that sounds really uncomfortable.
I'm gonna put so many aliens inside all of you.
Oh, right. He can do that.
I can't wait for
Tune
one.
in Monday for us
Oh,
and
yeah.
Corey and Adam.
The big guy.
We are going to become special effects in Cam's Alien campaign.
Well, I mean, like... Honestly, you probably won't, because I have faith in all of your competence, right?
Special effects.
That was the thing with the first two Alien movies, and with Alien 3, to a lesser extent.
They
was
really
that-
tried.
Well, all the characters were fundamentally competent.
Yep. Unlike Prometheus.
Yeah, where everyone was
just
just
like-
hanging out waiting to become a special effect.
I'm Wayland Yutani. I spent $1 trillion on this mission, and I want you to hire a dope-smoking Irishman with a bad attitude.
First name Wayland, last name Yutani. Wait, that's wrong.
I want him to be a grumpy fuck-up that doesn't play well in teams. That's what I want for an expeditionary force. I also want him to map the terrain and then get fucking lost!
You know, with his computer brain.
The guy who makes the
maps
fucking maps gets
lost.
fucking lost.
Because why not? Why not?
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Like,
Shit,
if,
did they think that was ironic?
I don't know. Like, it actually taxes my patience a great deal listening to defenses of that movie. Because it seems so indefensible.
Every character in that movie was just lining up waiting to be a special effect.
Yeah.
But like Aliens and Alien, generally what kills people in those movies is courage,
Yeah.
right? Somebody tries to step up.
Yeah.
Or just being kind of like taken by surprise.
Yeah. And it's just like they have no idea what this threat even is, for the most part. They gradually work it out and they try to handle it, and it's like, oh, we still can't handle it.
Yeah,
It's like we
like-
have a thing that tracks its movement, but
Yeah, they either underestimate the threat, or they're brave.
And then they die.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, the first infection was really just it was an accident. I wonder what's in this.
Yeah, well, curiosity is the other thing that kills people, right? Like, curiosity killed Cain.
Yeah.
I thought it was ability that killed Cain.
No, it was curiosity. Like, he was the one who, like, well, he fell.
I'm making a Bible joke.
I hope you turn into a pillar of salt.
I'm turning into a pillar of salt right now.
Bible references. Shit, we're back at blasphemy so soon.
I was listening to a podcast called Apocryphals.
Okay.
Hey!
Yeah, it was recommended by a friend. And I've only listened to one episode, which was the episode about Judith. Judith and Holofernes. And I really enjoyed their take on it, being like, when Judith shows up in that story, it's like, oh, hey, that's Judith's music, right? Like it builds her up as this really kind of like action hero.
Like a big deal?
Yeah.
That sounds really funny.
I need to start listening to that. I only started with their, what's his name? Chris Sims? Of the Invincible Superblog, which I used to read a lot, but then he started doing a podcast called Sailor Business.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if it's anything like that, then I'm in.
Oh God, JR, that's Judith. Judith's here.
But it's the very concept of just going through the Apocrypha.
The female phenom is in the...
Snip. Oh, wait. Snip.
We answered a lot of Wrestle Boys questions on the Askler that we did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because, like, Adam and Graham and myself all have, like... I mean, him and Graham and Adam specifically, because they have a podcast about it.
But like, you're no Wrestle Boy slouch.
No, I like a wrestling. I watched a guy take a bump once. But I watch a lot of OSW as background noise when I'm working, and so I get this like, it might be my favorite way to ingest wrestling, just because it's like, it's very funny, and it like, it's kind of like, it's from a position of love, but also like self-awareness, because you know they're able to take the piss very effectively.
Right, like when you love something,
Well, that's
right?
why
You're allowed to hit your own team.
that's why the abridged series
Of-
shows are
right.
so good. Like take Dragon Ball Z abridged. It actually tells the actual story. It just makes fun of the stupid parts
Right.
and exaggerates, you know, a lot of stuff. But you can watch that show and actually figure like it follows the main
You'll get the
Plot
whole
points.
story.
because they really like it.
Well, yeah, like you wouldn't do that if you didn't.
I mean, there are a lot of people who make a
Well,
series of
yeah,
stuff
well-
where they're like, what hasn't been picked yet?
Yeah,
this
exact-
ran for a while, I'm going to do this.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just copycatters, right? Or it's just like, oh, you know, I'll just dub over these characters swearing and it'll be funny.
Having a love for something doesn't automatically make it good.
No,
That's
no.
a good start.
Abridging is and it's a very interesting art. I mean, it's like one of those derivative things born of the internet.
It's one of the best. Born of the internet, but one of the best arguments for a revision to the copyright law.
Yeah. I mean, tell that to the mouse. Oh, I can never die.
When was the last time we seen Mickey?
You cut me, I do not bleed. You burn me, I'm not consumed by fire. Oh,
One thing that I really enjoy about your character, sorry to like pick up the
No, it's
conversation and
fine.
move it around. Your character description for the Alien game is the cap with the old logo on it, and I don't know whether you have like, whether you imagine that the that cap is like a vintage piece that you were able to find. But last year, for its top performers, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation made old logo merchandise and uniform pieces available on the company store. If you were a top performer, and I imagine if you had like the vintage piece, you'd be like, "Come on!
Oh,
I had to find." And now any idiot.
That was my thought behind that was that yeah, I'd be searching for something like this because I just have a yen for the design. I like good
do you
design.
know what that's
And, oh, good,
maybe
they're
almost
reproducing it.
exactly like? Colt just re-released the Colt Python after like many years because they originally released that pistol as like a practically bespoke target gun,
Okay.
and it was all hand fitted, and it still sort of stands up as like one of the best handguns ever made, and it showed up in many video games.
Maybe all the media.
Yeah, and it's crazy expensive because they didn't make a lot of them, and they stopped making them because it was like financially, just like
It was a prestige piece.
yeah, like they couldn't keep it up. It was like the numbers game didn't add up. And they've just recently done a new one, and like I don't imagine it's going to like dent the price of the old ones too much, but I'm sure there's some collectors that are like, God damn it!
Right.
Been keeping it in this hermetically sealed. Fuck.
The reserve list effect.
Yeah, oh god. Ah, the reserve list.
It was only taken out of production in 2006. I mean, it had been made for 51 years. up to
I
that
didn't
point.
think it had been in production for that long.
Apparently, yeah, they took it out of production in 2006, and then just as you say, recently announced that they're bringing it back.
How about that?
Yeah, it looks when you see it, it looks like
You see it.
yeah,
You will shit your pants.
I thought it was bricks. BRIX.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I would shit my pants if I saw like a Colt Python.
That was Jigen's gun, wasn't it?
I think so.
it's definitely has that silhouette.
He's hot now.
It's like the platonic. It's the '80s platonic ideal of a revolver
Oh, okay.
because it looks really revolvery.
It is not Dirty Harry's gun.
No,
It is a 357 Magnum.
Well, he says that in the.
this is a 44 Magnum. It's gonna be so powerful until some dickless idiot comes up with a Smith & Wesson 500. What can we use this for? Target practice and like Cape Buffalo? Cool.
That's what killed them.
I heard somebody say that it's like if you want to simulate the feeling of firing a 500 or like a Deagle or something, just find a girder and high five it as hard as you can. It's like, oh, that really hurt.
Why did I do that?
Why did I do? Let me sell this thing. There's another pistol somebody made that is chambered in like 4570. Just like, why though? Why?
What does that say? Does it want me to remove this thing?
I don't know what that.
Oh, and then that thing.
Oh, I think that just means that it's an optional part.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have to put on it.
If you don't want the shield, you don't need it. Whereas I am forced to attach the railguns to the hip.
There's a piece here for attaching the bazooka. And I'm not sure where it is.
Does not just flip down.
I wonder if it's the missing
No.
part that I lost track of.
I'm just kind of hoping it'd be like if we pan over to Alex's table and there's the bazooka.
There it is. Like, why does the 50 Action Express cartridge exist? Because... what's it good for? Shh.
I'm glad to know we were both grinding our teeth about Pat Labor, Ian.
I think the Pat Labor robot might have its gun modeled after the Colt
Oh,
Python.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
It has to.
Patlabor makes no bones about the fact that the people who made it are gigantic mechanical nerds.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
a cold python like chambered in like 105 millimeter. Cam, did I share with you that picture that was like somebody had a bad day? It's a photograph of the inside of an M1 cockpit or loader's area,
No.
and there's a tank shell that's broken in half, and the
Oh, and the yeah,
propellant prills are
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Oh.
It's like, oh no, fuck, man, I'll be fighting these forever.
Sounds like an enormous pain in the dick.
Yep.
Can't you just like turn the tank up on its end and shake it till they all come out?
Funny thing about that, I don't know if the M1 is this way, but I'm given to understand that the thing holding the turret onto the chassis
Yeah.
is gravity.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Not in every case, but what was interesting is like when that was true for the Bismarck, because when it sank, it flipped over and all the turrets fell off.
Right.
Because they're held on by gravity.
All right.
I mean,
They're big.
yeah, the fail state for that is really like,
It's just like, you know what, if we're in a situation where that becomes relevant,
then we'll,
yeah.
I mean, that's,
I think we're already in deep trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, like, that's what held on the upper biological shield of the RBMK reactor in Chernobyl. Gravity.
But I mean, that's something you can calculate for, at least in a warship context.
Yeah. It's like, hey, how come the fuel caps are jumping up and down?
Oh, they're happy. They're happy to see you. Like a little puppy.
I mean, ultimately, with the amount of force being generated there, though, would it have mattered if it was like?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
This was like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But it not having a containment building is the bigger problem
Yeah.
among many. There's like, do we need to enclose this in any sort of containing structure? Fuck it. We could put a crane overhead, and then we can fuel it more easily. A big crane. I saw a 3D rendered animation of the refueling process for those reactors. It's fascinating.
Really?
Because the reactor is like a sort of like a pot,
Okay.
and then on top, like above it, is like a huge open warehouse, and inside that is this tall structure that like moves on a crane, with a little driver's cab at the bottom.
Okay.
And so you move it over top of, like, say if this is it, like you move it over top of the reactor, and there's like a little site that you pinpoint a fuel channel,
Okay.
and there's like a little claw that attaches to the top of the fuel element, and it draws it all the way up
Huh.
and do-si-dos it and puts a new one all the way back down.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds actually kind of like clever.
Engineering is rad.
It sure is. Air is a containment structure. Okay, so I've got these wings now.
How much pressure do we need to keep this on? Oh, about 1 atmosphere. Oh, that's convenient. You know, it does that for free.
Oh, that's interesting. The instructions have suddenly become color.
Oh, you done?
Yeah, more or less. There is still like
Oh, wow.
835. Because, like, this is frustrating. Because these are two different parts.
So they are.
But it didn't, like... Or is this on the back? This is on the back. Okay. wait, did I build this? Is this am I so smart?
Wake up, Cameron.
I didn't realize it came with water slide decals.
Oh,
Wait.
these aren't,
good.
They're just stickers.
Oh, they're just like white?
Yeah. Which prototype do you want this to be, Ian? 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, you get to pick?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Unit 2 got to stay as the Mark II. Unit 1 became the Zeta, and Unit 3 became the Hyakushiki. So 2 probably makes the most sense.
What do you do
Okay.
with 100 shikis?
You put a char in it.
For
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
dun, dun. Char.
I do enjoy our greatest hits.
Of char.
This show, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind
Are we
of...
giant nerds?
Yes. Well, I don't know how to pin that down. Because, I've had a sort of a crisis of faith about the nerd identity.
Oh, yeah, no, it's terrible.
Well, it's not just that it's terrible, it's that it's become commodified. Which used to be the appeal, was that nobody fucking wanted it.
Right.
It was like a secret club that only like massive dorkos that nobody else would hang out with were a part of. And like weirdly enough, that was the appeal. But now it's for everybody, for everything that implies. And
Right.
and to be clear, that has its ups and downs because a lot of stuff should be for everybody.
I'm going to say then, that I think there might be then 2 different sorts of people, because I would never found the nerd thing as the isolation as a part of the appeal of it.
Well, it's not isolation because you find camaraderie in your comrades, like the other people. Like you want to find your people, but your people are few, and don't make a big deal about it. Well, maybe the guy with the Haigao T-shirt, those exist now. But yeah, like there was a lot of like little shibboleths. It's like you'd be in elementary school and like the kid with the Nintendo lunch pail is like, "Hey, do you play a Mario Brother? I like a Mario Brother. Maybe we should hang out, and we could maybe play Mario Brother together." Because I'm cautious about becoming one of those curmudgeons who's like, it's popular, so it's shit. Because that's not cool, especially for people for whom it's finally starting to become accessible.
Right.
Specifically like women, minorities, queer people. Like, it's now the direction of culture is making that a space that's shared by like everybody, and I think that's really good. I think that's excellent. Although everything with it's not even a cost to be paid. It's not like, oh, we have inclusion for all these people and now we lose something from it. It's just like,
Yeah, no, it seems like a straight upside, right? The more people participating in something.
yeah, that is definitely an upside. I think maybe it's just it's probably a function of the the corporate assholes smelling money and over merchandising and like slathering the branding on everything in sight.
Store.loadingreadyrun.com.
Buy our merch.
Well, I remember John and Vasquez once talking about like how he was signing things at a con, and one person asked him to sign their Gur flip-flops,
Oh my god.
and thinking like, did the world need these?
No.
Right? Like,
that's
at
exactly
what point do you look at Invader Zim and think marketing? Like a flip-flop is
Well, that's the thing, is that
the thing that I associate now with Invader Zim.
there's no thought to what appropriate or like even like complementary marketing would look like, because the people who do that, they don't give a shit.
Right.
They have like, this brand is popular, put it on literally anything. We don't care.
So I would argue then that what's going on is that we're actually just seeing more visibility. There's more population within this within this subculture, and we're just finding the people who are less desirable, not less desirable, but less socially aware, less socially aware are there.
Right.
Like you bring up that example of Invader Zim. That yes, here's a counterexample. I went to go see Jonathan Frakes at a convention, and I brought something for him to sign. What I brought was a handmade, squeezy, spinny toy that I had made out of wood, and then painted to look like William Riker. So I've got Whirlwind Will Riker.
Right. So, but that's like something different. I think that's a very positive example. It's like when you are so inspired by, a work of fiction or what have you, that you like do something thoughtful like that,
Yes.
as opposed to just like. It hit me very hard when I went into a GameStop for the first time in many years, and realized that it was just like, do they actually sell video games here? Because it's like they had like
all Funko Pops.
Mario branded like soap on a rope. It's just like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's just like, A, who would make this, and B, who would buy it? It's like I think it's maybe a matter of expression, where it's like there's being interested in something, and then there's like swathing yourself in its pelt to the exclusion of everything else.
Well, it's very postmodern, right? Like the signifier of the thing becomes the thing itself.
Just like, look, it's just like, I have a pre-distressed Golden Age shirt. It's just like, I'm not going to call you a fake comic nerd, but like, why would anybody want that?
Well, I mean, it's part of the.
And I mean, it's not even for me to decide. It's like, I'm not, because the other thing is like, I'm very cautious about, I never want to be that person who's trying to exclude the undesirables, because that's not a place where I want to be, and it's not a place where I think anybody should be.
But it's also part of the postmodern condition right now. That,
That's fine. Stick it back in.
trying to find it and craft an identity
Yeah.
is more difficult in a world where anything is more possible.
Well, I guess you're spoiled for options, right? And I mean, like taking an identity off a shelf, it makes sense. It's easy. It's there.
And if you can, change identities at a whim that way, find something you like.
Yeah. Where's this? A2.
A2?
A2.
Brute?
Yeah, Broody.
A2 Brute.
A2 Broody. Oh, Broody.
Et2 Broody.
A2 Broody. Where's my red sprue? Where's my sprue?
You have your sprue, sir.
Where is my sprue?
Should be attached to your C sprue, if it's anything like mine. D1.
I'm not seeing any red sprue, except for like the beam slaber, but I
There you
have
go.
red parts. So at one point I had a red sprue. Did these maybe get shuffled together or something?
That's some good stuff.
That would be
Yeah.
bad.
Ian, you don't have any extra red sprue parts that
No, I do not. I've only got the one, as I said.
the one that's a combo, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'll put together as much of this as I can, then I have like backups. Yeah, like I have feelings about it. I try to not. I don't know. Like, I try to be cognizant that they're just opinions. And again, that is like, I don't have any desire or authority or need to like enforce them in a particular way. Because it's like, if I became curator of all that I considered nerdy, then it's like it stops being a thing for everybody. Who the hell am I to say what being a nerd is like? I can still say what my particular thing is for it.
I was given to understand. Sorry to completely swerve.
Go
No,
right
it's
ahead.
fine.
Aren't the beam sabers usually like clear plastic, colored clear plastic?
You mean like this?
Usually,
Oh,
is it the difference in grade? Nope, high grade, high grade. Maybe it's just an older.
do you have additional beam sabers?
I think I do. I have 2.
I have blades. Does it accept the blade?
Nice.
Yeah, if you got a tiny drill, you could
where's your
probably
pin
make that really
vise?
work.
Yeah, my pin vise is at home.
Well, you are welcome to one of mine.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to
Much older, high grade. Ah. But like, this is pretty dope.
Yeah,
It is very dope.
I found it's probably one of my favorite suits, the Mark II, because it's a refinement of the original.
Yeah. Oh, my fingernails. Oh, God. Oh.
Well, hopefully we won't have any close-up shots and anything else during the week. Shall we take ourselves a break to get some stuff moved around?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, we'll be taking a quick break, but don't go away. There'll be more Gunpla and more after this. Don't go away. I almost stabbed myself in the eye with that.
That's bad.
Welcome back to Tinker's Tailor. Tinker's Tailor?
I'll take
Tinker
us back. I don't
Staler.
think- hang on.
Heather will murder us.
Yes, go again.
Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian, and joining me are Cam and Alex.
I am a meat popsicle.
We're doing Gunpla, and well, we've swapped out some Gunpla for some something smaller.
My Gloomhaven figure.
Awesome. I'm going to probably be swapping out too because I've run out of parts and my red is missing.
Oh, dear.
Oh well.
Well, I'm just about done this one, but I got a surprise to bring up, so I'll bring it up when it happens.
I also
Oh.
have a surprise.
Ooh, okay.
That sounds like something my cat would have threatened me with. I have a surprise to bring up.
No, please. At least aim.
D1. Wow, that's a wingy Gundam.
Yep.
Very wingy boy.
Wingalingading.
What wins? 500 Zakus or one wingy boy?
Yeah, actually.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Try. I like that.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Y.
Try. Here we go.
Wow. I mean,
Look, he can whip.
Oh, can I floss?
are there enough points of articulation? I think so.
A little bit. I think anybody can floss if they're
Floss with a bazooka.
flossuka.
I do rag on the non-Universal Century series and their mech, but they do look impressive for what they are. This one's just got a nice little headgear piece. It's like the earmuffs you get, except they're full of Vulcan cannons. You should get one of those, Beach.
What's that?
Like a wraparound earmuffs, but with Vulcan cannons and
Yes. Yes. Now I'm into this idea.
like Lobot, but for murder.
We found a space on the robot without guns on it. Well, you idiot.
I can't have that.
Does it have a hard point? It does now. What's this, Precious?
This is a very simple kit. But there are 2 of them. Let's see if you can guess what it is.
Oh, that's a very small boy.
It's the smallest boy, and it has an overweight friend.
A large friend. I wonder, do you still have your the younger cousins here? Or did we?
I think those. I don't know.
Yep, younger cousins are
Oh.
still here.
Fantastic. I can have the whole family. I mean, the younger cousins don't get out much. It's probably for the best. What, was it a Kinder Egg? Well, in a manner of speaking. There was certainly a surprise in it. Oh, this is the perfect opportunity. So, this bomb design, the little boy, Did you know it was untested?
Yeah, they didn't know if it was going to work or not,
They
right?
were confident that it would work, but this actual literal, like the uranium gun design had not been tested.
Oh. Fun.
Yeah, there's like, it'll probably work. It's like, the calculations are good enough. I mean, I thought about what the landscape would be like if it was a dud, and this piece of like research like fell on Hiroshima.
They were just like,
I was
here,
like,
have
"What-
this.
Oh, what is this? Let's take it apart.
Ooh.
It may have not had any like that significant effect because it's like, oh, let's figure out how to make plutonium and then build the infrastructure to do that.
Yeah. They weren't really in the state to be doing that at that point.
Nope. But other little things about this, you know what initiated this bomb was, and this almost sounds like a piece of poetry, 4 silk bags full of cordite.
Huh.
Wow.
It's weirdly specific, and
Yeah.
And yet in a way, not at all.
yeah, it's just like,
How much is a silk bag?
I mean, it's probably in the specs, but it's just like, and cordite, like,
Yeah, like such a mundane thing.
And that table is a thing. It is a thing. It looks like a, no, the thing that looks like a thing. There.
oh,
Thank
the
you.
armature thing.
Thank you very much.
Thing.
Yeah,
I bought one of these. I thought they were going to be stupid,
it looks kind of great.
and it just actually helps a lot.
Wow.
It's infuriating how much this...
No, that
What?
Just that you're so mad that
Yeah.
this thing is actually a good idea.
Yeah.
How dare you be this useful?
Cameron, I totally get you on that because I am currently researching circuit board holders for this very same reason. Think, oh yeah, why would I need one of these? I just put it on the table and do the soldering.
I've never used one of these things before in my life. Why would I need one? Oh.
Don't.
Well,
Anyway,
if I had known...
as I finished up soldering my Dreamcast 2 weeks ago by propping it up against a box of magic cards.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a mood.
I mean, I could lend you my other third hand.
That's
I know
weird,
you
Beach.
have one, so you could use both of them.
Not the same.
Not the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like when a third hand is you've got clamps on it,
Yeah.
and you kind of try to position it. It's
Yeah.
not purpose built for
No.
holding a big square thing
Yeah.
very sturdily in one place.
Yep.
What you want is one of those like big trays with the weird gorilla pod arm things.
No, it's literally something like that, just larger.
Speaking of clamps, do we have some, or like even some rubber bands?
Well, we've got bulldog clips.
That might work.
I know we have rubber bands in my office.
Beach, what you do on your off time is none of my concern.
We have a lot of hard drive platters. Oh, here we are.
Can you sandwich it between
Clamp,
two giant magnets?
That's not a bad idea.
Ooh, this one is fancy boy. Wait for that snap noise and then like a little like strangled cry.
Yeah. Just twang! Ah, my eye!
I broke my little boy.
I think there was a third design that they never got around to called Tall Man.
Huh.
I don't remember what the difference was with that one. Thank you. So I don't know if I have my sandpaper here, because this is just going to be a lot of like very precise sanding.
You need a sanding block.
Honestly, just like a little tiny piece of fine sandpaper, because I thought I had my sanding sticks here.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Well, I do have emery board.
Ooh. Oh,
Like literal for nails. I picked it up.
This is the fucking
Yeah,
secret
I know.
tag.
Yeah, because dirt cheap and it's good.
It's everywhere. I mean, that's how model stores gouge you, is they sell ordinary things branded by like Tamiya or something.
Well, it's like acrylic medium for thinning paint
Yeah.
is floor polish, right? Cheap
Is
floor.
it?
Yeah.
Dark Morphord, yes, that is exactly correct.
At least some formulations of it are. It's very thick acrylic medium, or at least can be used effectively as
How
acrylic
about
medium.
that?
Is there a better source for acetone than nail polish remover?
Acetone?
Nail polish remover typically has like a bunch of other stuff in it.
Yeah,
doesn't
just
it?
buy acetone.
Okay.
It's not that expensive.
I need to. One of my Twitter followers who watches the program, and I can't remember your name. I'm very sorry, but they were watching our hard drive disassembly episode, and they had a very large hard drive magnet from a very old hard drive. I think it was an inch wide and half an inch thick, and they didn't want to bend it and risk breaking or marring the magnet anyway.
Right.
So apparently, just throwing it in a glass of acetone for 24 hours will melt the adhesive.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that's a way of finishing 3D printed models as well. You
Brush them with acetone?
well, no, I think
No,
you
vaporize it.
yeah
Oh.
you arrange for them to encounter acetone vapor.
So this is something that I'm aware of because I currently do 3D printing, and is something I'm absolutely not going to be doing because I know of. I'm not going to mention names, but I know of some people who have died.
Oh
yeah,
God!
due to aerosolized acetone.
Yes.
That sounds very dangerous.
It is extremely dangerous, and you should not do it in your own home. No, well, I mean,
No,
do
don't
what you want to do, but
don't do
yeah,
that.
like don't make a fuel air bomb.
yeah.
Right, it's flammable too. Yeah, acetone's gnarly stuff.
What I've found, though, is that apparently rock tumbling and some of the mediums you can get for that are very good for the PLA.
What? You just tumble them?
Yeah,
Huh.
and it makes it makes a much
fuck?
and it actually makes a nicer matte finish to it.
Just to polish off like the
The lines.
lines,
Yeah,
right? The
plastic
layers.
lines. Yeah, and it's a lot easier than getting in there with several grits of sand.
Do you want to split a rock tumbler with me?
I'm considering actually building a larger one.
We should talk.
This might be a good TTSF.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, let us talk.
Okay.
My first thought was, hey, why don't we just use a 5-gallon bucket? I'm like, oh, no, wait. The medium will just wear away at the bucket.
Wild.
Maybe a large 5-gallon steel drum, like what you make with put paint in.
You can order them from Uline.
Can I order them from someone who's less of a racist asshole company?
Oh. Really? The Canadian branch?
Well, I mean, it's a subsidiary of the American branch.
God damn it.
So
It's so annoying. They have so many good products.
Their catalog is basically productivity porn.
Ugh. I just want a drum.
I like the idea of a paint can, though. That's a hell of an idea. Just an empty paint can that you've cleaned out.
I wonder if industrial paints and plastics would have that kind of thing.
Possibly.
They have lots of stuff. Here, Cam, catch.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. This looks like the Davy Crockett.
Right.
That time when they were trying to put nuclear weapons in everything, and they're like, we should make a recoilless rifle that's nuclear tipped.
And then the people in charge were like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
no, yeah,
right on.
awesome.
Is that flying crowbar coming on?
Was that the one that was going to fly around
Yeah.
with the nuclear-powered aircraft that was going to
Yep.
fly around and spray nuclear bombs
That
over
was
the
it.
Soviet Union?
Yeah.
And then when it crashed, that was okay?
Well, the idea wasn't that it would crash. It would just keep flying for a very long time. Just
Yeah, it would
Constantly
do
rating
donuts at about Mach 4 at treetop level.
Oh, yeah.
Tossing out hydrogen bombs until it ran out, and then it would just
keep
go in
until it
circles.
ran out of fuel or was shot down.
Right.
Good
Either
luck
way.
shooting it down. It's like, okay, here it comes again. Oh, we missed it. I don't feel so good, do you?
Did we want to win this war, or what's
mean-
our objective again?
It's kind of in the category like the Soviet dead hand system.
Oh,
You know that one?
no.
This was a vengeance weapon, which I don't remember exactly how it worked, but it was a fail-safe where it's like if Soviet leadership and infrastructure was completely destroyed, it would trigger an automatic like retaliatory strike.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, well, you killed all of us, but well, enjoy.
Oh, joy.
Good to know.
There's a reason they call it MAD.
What, me worry?
Oh, Alfred E. Newman.
Ooh, 3D printed versions.
Ooh.
I mean, this is the problem with 3D printing things,
You can technically make anything, right?
but you're not going to make a great version of it.
Well, there's certain things that 3D printing is very well suited to, and I guess you have to find where that is. Because I mean, it's the economy of like, do I buy this or do I build it? But with like less limited possibilities.
Yeah, like the idea of 3D printing was based around the idea of rapid prototyping. Not necessarily as a means to like manufacture end pieces, but
Right, like, will this work? Does it fit?
yeah. But then it became a hobby into itself.
Yep. Well, I mean, like the ability to build anything that you could conceive of and model. You know, it's appealing.
Yeah.
I did like the idea of sending basically a space probe to Mars that was a 3D printer. And I was like, hey, that's just a Terran command center.
Well, I mean, with the 3D printing using concrete,
That's cool.
it's not a bad
Oh, the
idea.
one that like actually like moves upwards as it builds layers underneath it.
That or the ones that they're using in Africa, where it's sort of a crane-based system, like the sky hooks or not the sky hooks, the sky cameras they have in football games,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and just you send a pipe up to it or a hose up to it with concrete, and just deposits FDMs a house out of concrete,
Huh.
layer by layer, and then you finish it like a regular house. Put up drywall. And,
Interesting.
I've heard that some of those developing nations are leapfrogging whole technologies.
well, like the landline phone system.
Well, yeah, like India skipped from, well, I guess from landlines to like straight into cell phones. And it's probably going to be true of a lot of other stuff where it's just like we're going to skip past like conventional power infrastructure and go to everybody has their own solar panel.
Part of the recent one is because the manufacture of cement is also a very carbon-heavy process. That
Is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
So it's like building. I know that there's two schools of thought. On the one hand, it's like, well, you could build a house out of wood, but what if you built the house out of nothing but wood? Like you didn't leave air gaps.
Can we go back to Japanese joinery?
Yeah, the idea of building like giant log house style things, but building modern houses in the way that log houses are built, like you know, driving a whole bunch of, because then you have 16-inch walls that are just so dense that you're not going to have like clean transfer of heat to the outside, right? It's like you know, that kind of thing. But it's harder because you need so many more materials. But if you build in an area that has lots of trees, British Columbia, you can kind of get away with it. But the other option is, what if you could grow your concrete?
Go on.
And the idea is to use fungus. As
They
a-
stole that
Yes.
idea from Dominion Tank Police.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's apparently a thing where they're like, we could actually make funguses that that interlock, and we can grow them as bricks.
That's so cool.
They've already perfected mycelium leather.
Yeah,
Neat.
Yeah.
Actual like vegan leather.
Yeah, and it feels and works like regular chromic cell Horween leather.
That's really cool.
I did not know that.
Mushrooms.
I'm very excited for when it becomes commercially viable. I can assume that you would.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Your next messenger bag is made out of mushrooms.
Now, speaking of log houses, though, I spent a summer in my teens working on my uncle's house that was a log house, but not made in the traditional style. It was, I can't remember the name of it, and I'm sure someone in the chat knows what it is, but you lay down your mortar, and then you take logs that are like the kind of thing you'd use for your fireplace, and you lay it down like a brick, so that the round of it is facing the inside and outside of the house. And it's an amazingly long-lasting building method and extremely efficient in terms of its insulation value.
Cool.
Killer.
And cheap.
What will they think of next?
I think I remember hearing them say that they were either close to or had recreated Roman formula for
No
concrete.
kidding.
Oh, there was one that got lost, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was like we don't actually know what the
Yeah,
formulation
like
was.
because it was very quick drying.
Yeah, well, it was quick drying and long lasting.
Well, I mean, their shit is still around.
That's
so.
right. And I think it was the solution was that they used seawater.
Oh, okay.
And there was
Oh, the
something-
salt?
It was well, it wasn't. I don't. There was something in the seawater. I can't tell.
Plants.
But some dissolved mineral that.
Fascinating. I mean, it's like how the original recipe for Greek fire was kind of lost. I think.
I remember watching a documentary where a guy was trying to make one, and the guy he hired to make the bronze vessel, like the pressure vessel, was like, no, I'm not making
why
this
not?
for you.
Why not?
It's like because the material is porous, right? And he makes one, and then puts water in it and sticks it on a fire, and there are vapor trails coming out of it.
Jesus.
And he's like, I'm not letting you fill this with oil and pressurize it and put it on a fire.
People will die, specifically you.
Yep.
Like I can't be responsible for that.
It's like
There we go.
you'll fucking die.
Drowson's had the answer there. Yes, it was the secret to Roman concrete was seawater and volcanic ash.
Oh man, that's cool.
I love these things from the past, that formulas that have been forgotten, that were never really written down in the way that we'd write them down today.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, Japanese joinery, which if you've ever watched it, is incredible.
It's one of my favorite Twitter accounts.
I mean, and the structures they build out of them are like quite durable, actually. Like I think a lot of
It's a nation with earthquakes.
yeah,
They
there's
have
like
to
you
be
know what?
durable.
Let's build something that's going to stand up to that. Was it a catfish that wiggles its tail under the? Oh, I really thought you were going to get.
Oh, sorry,
you were gonna
yes.
get that one. Okay, thank fuck.
The thing, yes, the causes of earthquakes.
Yes, it's the Japanese legend is that there's a catfish under the island that gets frisky every once in a while. You know, kills a couple 100,000 people.
Yeah, why not?
That rascal.
Catfish resilient.
Build 4 parts. Do I have to do that twice?
A note to everybody listening at home, that noise is very hard to control for. I'm very sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, Alex. You can't do anything about it.
Well, you could tell me to not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of have to. I just have to keep ducking the audio.
Look, you're here to be a part of the process, and that sound is part of the
Here,
process.
I'll do it closer to the mic. Fuck you, listener. I'm not that vindictive.
Really?
Yes.
You are not.
Yay. They don't suspect a thing.
B211 and B212.
I'm gonna have to sand this further at my house when I have like more precise tools. The big risk here is losing some of the detail,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the seams are where, or where there aren't raised edges, but we'll see. I kind of wanted to do a like plastic model gallery because I have a V1 and a V2, and I figure I could go like V1, V2, both these bombs, and then like maybe a couple other ones of just like the sort of heritage of
Death.
yeah. Although
These only kill
You know what I
civilians.
could do is I could have the V2 and then where it diverges, and have like ballistic missiles and the space program. 'Cause common ancestor, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite parts of For All Mankind.
Yeah.
was them dealing with the whole von Braun situation.
Oh yeah, when who is it is pissed? One American faction gets pissed off about the space program, and yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. They get pissed off about the space program.
oh, and then they kill it by being like, so von Braun
Yeah.
is a war criminal,
You know what he did, right?
right? And everyone was like, we were kind of hoping to ignore that.
It's like, well, you can't. It's just like, how do you think they built all of those things?
Yeah,
Slave labor.
and like yeah, and everyone's like, well,
Yes.
we were kind of waiting for that to happen.
Yep. I was watching a Western the other day, and it had the greatest, like, sequence imaginable, because it's right at the end of the American Civil War. And this Southern colonel, skulks back to his plantation all, like, pissed off, because the South lost. And a gentleman and his black business partner roll up. They're like, hey, we're here to make you an offer on your plantation, I think on behalf of the U.S. government. And he's very, like, cordial and is just like, I'm going to come inside and have a look. And he's just like, no, fuck off. I hate you. You suck. And partway through the conversation, the guy's partner pipes up, like, takes a drag off of his cigar. He's like, because they're talking about, like, the size of the place, and it's like all these acres, and he's just like,
Right.
who's gonna pick all that cotton for you and plow them fields? It's like,
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
oh fuck. Oh, it was delightful.
How do these things even work? I've given up on trying to figure out what the hell they do. I just don't know how they put together at this point. There we go. That looks... But hey, unfolding things in space is easy, right?
Oh god. It's all made out of gold foil. Gold foil and aluminum struts like an umbrella.
Yeah, there's only 383 pieces that could go wrong.
Also, we just imparted a whole bunch of momentum to ourselves.
Oops.
Wonder where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, there was those ideas about the, like, solar sails or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they sound, like, really cool. It's just like, you fold it out, and it's this, like, micron thin gold leaf that I hope doesn't come apart.
I think there's actually one in... If there's not one in use right now, there's one in production to go into.
Oh, cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a proven technology.
Cool.
If I recall, it was a tiny probe, but...
I heard anecdotally somewhere that they're, like, starting to get close to having a net gain off of fusion.
I mean, I think last I heard about anything fusion related was that it was still 5 years away,
Yeah, I heard that 5 years ago, too.
and it's
5
like
years before that.
perpetually 5 years away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a reason to stop working on it.
No, of
No,
course
no,
not.
but like you can see, like they're continually in a place where they're like, it's almost there. It's almost there. It'll just take another few billion, right? Like,
It's just like you come over the horizon, you're just like, oh, shit.
But at least we know now that,
It's like, okay, I know it cost us $1 billion. We found out another thing that doesn't work,
yeah, right.
which
like,
is actually scientifically useful.
yeah, like failure is
that's
is
progress.
yeah, failure is progress, right? Like, I keep coming back to that. American, is he American? I think he's American. He's a famous analytical chemist, at least within the realm of chemistry, named George Whitesides. And he wrote this paper a few years ago about like the future of chemistry. And one of his big things in the paper was that good science fails early and fails conclusively.
Yeah, that was a good turn of phrase I found.
It's
Like-
unfortunate that the startup culture has kind of adopted that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there it is. Thank you, Arclight Dynamo. The Planetary Society was the people
Oh,
who
cool.
launched it.
I'm not going to glue this together yet because I need to sand it more, but
Neat.
the worst Kinder Surprise egg.
I do have to say that I'm really sad that that toroidal fusion reactors are a dead end.
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so cool looking.
Yeah, well, and I really wanted reactors that were named that I could pretend were named after a Romulan subcommander.
Really?
Tokamak.
It's not even Katsulis' best role.
We did get
God
this-
Hand has an official mascot. Her name is Nipako.
I would like to see Nipako.
things we've
She's
learned.
probably really moe.
Oh, we're gonna.
Does
get a
she have the
flood.
clamps?
Give him the clamps.
Don't give him the clamps. Do you know my dad?
That's
Oh, hey, she just. Oh, of course, her hair is the
That's
handles
One second.
amazing.
There we.
with the bow at the top. Oh, that's very clever.
Oh, you can't see. The chat can't see what I'm seeing, or can they?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They have Google.
That's clever. I like that.
Yep. It's like, hi everybody, gonna cut you. Beach, did you see that episode of Saturday Night Live where Hatsune Miku came on?
No.
So she came on, and I've never seen David
Yes!
Letterman more fucking confused in his life.
Hatsune Miku, everyone.
It's like, there she
there
is.
she is.
He just like doesn't know whether to shit or go blind.
was-
It's so funny. Just somebody like who's used to being a performer, like doing their best to roll with whatever the fuck this is.
Yep.
Whenever you hear me say like the phrase, "There she is,"
Yeah, that's
I'm
David
literally
Letterman.
referencing that moment.
Or not SNL, sorry, Late Show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you. That's fantastic, though. That's
it's so funny.
that's definitely like, because Letterman was always well known for bringing on musical acts that people have not heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really into that. He's like, he always wants to just show off like a new artist. And Conan O'Brien was kind of the same way. But Letterman was really into it. So to bring on Hatsune Miku is probably like, yeah, no, this is a phenomenon. People want to see this. I'm totally on board.
What the fuck just happened
Yeah,
to me?
how is
Yeah.
any of this going to work?
The sister event to that is the president of Domino's doing that
Yes.
commercial for Hatsune Miku. That's just as weird.
Japan.
It's like Domino's Pizza is happy to present Hatsune Miku with Hatsune Miku.
Watch her dance on your pizza
Yeah,
box.
your pizza box has like an ARG like code on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where
Huh.
you hold up your phone and you can see her being like pizza, 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 or some shit like that.
But I like what I like though about Hatsune Miku performing on Letterman and other places
Yeah.
in life is that by doing that makes her a peer of Tupac.
Right, yeah.
What the fuck?
As having like a hollow personality that is performed. I really wanted years and years ago when they had when they summoned Prince. They used that hologram of Prince at the Super Bowl
What?
right after he died. I wanted that thing to appear, turn to the audience and say, "Computer, Arch." And for the broadcast to go dead.
And we all go away.
Amazing. So when's Miku gonna like jam with the gorillas? Look at gorillas and Prozac.
Oh, there we
Opening
go.
act Prozac.
I know.
I mean, really just and she is free to use software? Somebody could make a Prozac cover album.
Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah, for the people in chat who are confused, computer arch was a thing from Star Trek The Next Generation, which was a way of summoning a computer control console
Which is a
when you were
television-
on the holodeck.
Which is a television program from 30 years ago.
Gosh darn.
Yeah,
Over 30 years ago.
and there
Must
was a
be,
plot
right?
line where Geordi, in order to entertain and challenge Data, asked the computer to simulate a villain, or to create an AI that was capable of challenging Data.
Oops.
And it made a Moriarty that was smarter than Data that took over the Enterprise.
Those were just things you could actually tell the computer to do. Just be like, hey, computer, make an AI that's smart enough to challenge Data. And the computer's like, yes, I will devote all my cycles to doing that thing for you.
You
The
dumbass.
Enterprise's fans spin up for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, there, I've created such an AI.
I'm tired now.
Would you like to proceed? Do you think this is still a good idea?
It's like, how many more option screens can I throw you through before you clue in that this is dumb?
If programming ever gets that fucking easy in 300 years, like, I'll be just glad to hear it.
Let me tell you, Beach, if Siri shortcuts is any indication, no, it's not going in that direction. I can't even make that goddamn thing tell me to learn that I'm going to sleep and turn off my lights at the same time.
Last night, Siri suggested that I should enable my 10:30 alarm so I get up in time to be on checkpoint.
That's nice of her.
It's also nice to wake up at 10:30 in the morning. But yeah, it was definitely a weird moment because it's the first time she's ever done it.
Oh.
But she does understand that Wednesday nights are the nights to tell me you need to do this because you have to get up early on Thursday.
I just imagine you waking up and her telling you things, and you're just like, that's great. You know, I have a wife.
Yeah, Heather's not going to do
She's
that.
not gonna wake me up to give a shit at all.
Oh, no, just me. Oh. He'll definitely let you sleep in. Like, if you were in a slice of life anime, which, let's face it, you probably are, she would probably be, like, kicking you out or just, like, doing that thing where, like, the animation loops of just,
Yeah.
like, giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'm into that.
I'm pretty sure if I'd asked my Siri to not wake me up until to let me sleep in, it's going to start playing the Postal Service.
I had the best notification yesterday in the form of a fire alarm,
Oh,
which is the loudest thing in the world, and it really startled me.
I guess functioning as intended, but
Yeah.
yeah,
it-
still quite
it's one
upsetting.
of those things where I'm just like, I understand that this has to be like this, but I can't fucking hear.
Yeah.
You know, I found some earplugs,
It's like when you make toast at 1 a.m. and your smoke alarm goes off
and you just, yeah.
and you're just mortified.
Yep. The poor cat, though.
Oh,
She hides under the couch.
That's not a good place to hide the fire.
Of course not, Ian. The best place to hide in the event of a fire is outside of the fire.
Duly noted.
let me write that one down.
Hiding outside the fire.
Don't be inside the fire. Don't be inside the fire.
Please don't burn your body. It's like rule 1. If you want to go on.
I saw a video from some U.S. agency that deals in fire safety. Can't remember who. I think it might have been like Universal Laboratories.
Sure.
But they put up a thing being like, "Hey, so did you know you should probably shut your door when you go to sleep at night?"
Really?
And people are like, "Really?" And it's like, "Well, here's what we're gonna do. We've made this house,
Oh no.
and we're gonna have one bedroom and 2 bedrooms that are essentially side by side. And we're gonna start a fire in one room, and we'll leave the door open for one, and we'll have the door shut in the other one, and we'll run it for like 10 minutes or whatever." And then they burned the house, and they had the wall drop away from the side to be like, now you can see what the living room looked like. That was where the fire started, and the bedroom, and that was sealed, and the bedroom that was not sealed. And you would have at least stayed alive in the bedroom that had the door shut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Mom, I need the door closed so I don't die in a fire.
You see the mental calculations. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, that would be a perfect excuse. It's like, yeah, I need the door closed because of fire regulations.
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom. All right, well, here we are.
I used to go to sleep at night begging for my door to be open because I couldn't stand having the door shut in my room.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. I needed fresh air. I felt like I was suffocating.
I needed to see light from the hallway in order to fall asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, now I just need the darkness.
I do. I need the 100% darkness in my room. It's not dark enough anymore.
Like,
Ian, gaze upon my work.
ooh, nice.
I don't even have a what do you call it?
That is detailed.
Alarm clock anymore.
An LED alarm clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. I use U-Haul packing blankets as blackout blinds.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say as an alarm clock. Some sort of weird rigged
I
up,
can't even imagine.
like some sort of weird like Antikytherian machine or whatever that you've built.
Well, you see, Alex, if you just empty a pint glass of water at the top of the blanket before you go to bed, it takes about 8 hours to soak through and it begins to drip gently on your forehead and it's time to wake up.
Siri, set a pitch drop for like 10 years from now. We should do that as a crap shot.
I can't do that. It is a chaotic system.
So have they successfully recorded the pitch drop?
I don't know.
They did.
Did they?
They
So
caught it.
They finally caught it.
Yeah, it was like 125 years or something ridiculous.
Fuck. Okay, the pitch drop experiment. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, and I'll get Cam's help, hopefully.
I know the pitch drop, but I know nothing about it technically.
Yeah.
Explain what pitch is.
Pitch is a tar-like substance.
That doesn't flow very well.
Yeah, it's technically, well, it is a liquid,
Yes.
but
In
it
the same way that-
flows really slowly.
It's a liquid in the same way that glass is liquid.
And I don't quite remember. Oh, don't get Cam started.
Anyway, moving
I don't
on.
remember what the purpose of the experiment was, but they took some pitch, melted it in a sort of like a funnel or like a flask, allowed it to settle for like a number of years, I believe, and then they broke the bottom off and left a beaker under it, and it has been slowly gloobing out over the course of like more than 100 years. They've, I think, more recently put like webcams on it to actually catch the point at which it actually blorps.
Neat.
9 drops so far.
That's unusual. Huh.
Neat, huh?
That is the longest pour over in history.
Oh, was supposed to drip once every 15 years, took over a century for people to actually record it due to increasingly stupid pratfalls each time.
Nice.
That's super funny.
Maybe it was a social experiment all along. It's like, watch this. We'll have a time capsule that shows what a fuck up everybody is.
Hold my pitch.
It's like that's YouTube.
Waiting for the drop.
We'd have to film that at an actual concert, right? Like, damn it.
Fuck.
DJ pitch.
It's like, it takes forever, but the drop is so worth it. Ah, silly. I just like that I have a plastic bag with the word atomic bomb written on it.
Oh,
Is that like the box with Gundam written across it?
who's the recording artist who did the song Atomic Bomb?
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It's one of my favorite weird songs.
Just like in the cadence of Uranium Fever.
Oh, no, not at all. There we go. William Onyebor. World classics.
Actually, I think I'm going to check on the treads for this. Because why not? We'll see how they're holding up since last time.
Colorful.
Oh, thank you. What do you think, chat?
Nice.
I have an unfortunately mean comment that I don't want to make, despite the fact that it looks amazing.
Ah.
Cool.
It's the angriest grimace.
Can I see your glasses?
I deserve that.
Give me your hand.
He had a Irish cousin.
I'm sorry?
No, the grimace had an Irish cousin.
Did-
That's how we got the Shamrock Shake.
I don't know if you're lying or not.
Would I lie about McDonald land
My
history?
God,
Yes,
I think you're
clearly.
right. I think you're right. I remember this.
The Shamrock Shake is a really weird fucking thing.
It sure is.
It's like, what flavor is it? Green. Made with real Irishmen.
Uncle O'Grimacy.
That's
That's not okay.
Christ. Oh, hang on a minute. How do I add terrible thing to this? What we're doing.
I mean, you're talking already. That was really shitty.
Ah, that's fine.
Just add it to the list.
Ah, effing Pinterest.
Yeah. Pinterest is actually like really useful for looking up reference, but I don't like the way it contaminates every search you do.
Actually, you know what? Now that I've switched to DuckDuckGo, I rarely get any Pinterest links.
Can't imagine why.
Oh, that was good. Thank you, Pinterest. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I just want to download a JPEG Pinterest. Please?
Can we get some fucking compatibility for WebPs or stop using them?
Web peas?
Surely. You, of all people, have encountered these.
I have
There you go.
Oh, God.
Oh no! That's
Oh,
fucking.
that's-
That is so cursed.
That I don't like that at all. Can we get rid of that, please? Can we close that? Oh God, it's playing music.
That's very, very cursed.
I need, you know, the facial expression or the thing Jon Stewart would go through whenever whenever they would bring up a new segment name, and he
Yep.
would be like, and we are calling this thing where I challenge people to like come on the show. We have decided to call it "Come On Jon Stewart," and the the logo would pop up, and he's like, "No, I thought we agreed that we weren't calling it this," and he would have this great hangdog expression on his face.
Fantastic.
We had a meeting where we discussed not calling it this. Why do we have graphics made up?
The replacement for the Nambla bit.
Oh no! 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 No!
Yeah, that's why they
No!
did that.
Fucking no! No! We don't talk about that. It's unnecessary.
Uncle O'Grimacy isn't even Irish, he's Cuban.
What the fuck? Like in canon?
I don't know. I didn't write his backstory.
That's.
All right, I guess I'll read it. This is like me doing Sidewalk Slam. I'll read all the lore and fill you guys in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. Wait, this has to the McDonald's wiki. I hate that I said that.
Then, you know, you mean the McDonald's or the McDonald Land wiki?
This was completely, yeah. This has been completely defaced.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
They just recently discovered an issue with the Bouncy Castle article on Wikipedia.
What?
Well, don't you know the issue with fatalities in bouncy castles is because of the knights, ghosts that are trapped there trying to protect the castles.
Ah, they were vandalized.
Yeah, yes, but it was on there for quite a while.
My favorite bit of Wikipedia vandalism that I ever found was on the Julia Child's wiki page, where somebody just to the end of the introduction paragraph added lol Rafflecopter. And it was there for like 3 years.
I think I like that.
I think she would have approved.
I appreciate harmless pranks of
Yeah.
that nature.
It just made me really happy.
Rafflecopter indeed.
Rafflecopter. Oh, top of the Rafflecopter for you.
I killed Nazis with me bare hands. Right? Like,
That's our Julia.
goodbye.
Why did we have to lose all the good Julias?
Raul Julia,
Yep, and Julia,
Julia
Child.
Childs.
That's it.
Orange,
Yeah.
orange
Sorry,
Julius.
anyone out there who's named Julia.
We see you. Yeah, I don't think I want to get too into working on this because it's like quite involved. But I feel like there's a little bit of a spurt to do, and then I can start working on painting. The thing with this model is that because of how it's constructed, I didn't want to build it in totality and then paint it, because there's some parts that well, you can't get to with paint very well.
Right,
namely
right.
like the treads. So I rust based everything, and I pre-painted the treads. So I think that's gonna work out okay.
This is a tractor that was used in
Yeah. So
Soviet industry, right?
yeah, this was they took a T-34 chassis, ripped the top off, and installed a truck cab and bed backwards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what makes it interesting, I mean, there's a lot of things that are interesting about it. So you have the engine way down in the hull here, and what's actually under the cab is not the engine, but this giant radiator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that's what's under the hood. I don't know how you would service the engine on this. Maybe you just don't. Maybe they just get a new one. But yeah, normally the T-34 that this was based off of would be going that way,
Right.
because you have the engine at the back, driver at the front.
So did they have to re-gear it?
They probably just turn it around.
Flip the transmission on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh, we'll just 180 everything. It does still have two like gear levers, because tracked vehicles steer differently.
Tank controls.
Yep. Turns on a dime though. I mean, if you don't care about the road.
Yeah, the cab probably flips forward.
I don't think it does. Like these panels pivot up, like they wing upwards. You can see that this one's like
Yeah.
partly there.
But like the way the cab is sitting right now, that it's kind of bouncing loose in
Well, that's
place.
because I fucked up.
Oh, okay. I just kind of assumed that it's like maybe the thing actually was meant to come forward more. But yeah, no, I think I'm with you on this.
My best theory is either the seats come out, or they get one of the very svelte guys that they would put in a T-34 to like climb around inside.
Do you ever watch the Chieftains videos on YouTube?
Is he the tank guy?
Yeah, he's like a former American tank
only
commander and a
watched-
giant nerd.
I've only watched a little bit of it. I watched his sequence on like, oh my god, the tank's on fire.
Yeah, I think there's probably a supercut of "Oh my God, the tank is on fire,"
It's
because he was
it's
like
really
an
great.
American tank commander during the Gulf War, and he's a consultant for World of Tanks.
Oh.
So they fly him to museums all over the world, and he does like
That's super cool.
videos about like tanks. And his running joke is that he takes like 10 minutes to find the tension wheel on the tank treads, because he's like, if you ever drive a tank, this is the most important thing you will ever do is
Reset the tension.
reset the track tension every day of your life.
To be honest, actually, I'm working on a heavy equipment manual at work for the International Trades Association.
Yeah.
There is a chapter on adjusting the the tension, specifically on tank treads.
But yeah, he does, like, he sits in all the various crew positions. And another one of his jokes is that he's like 6'2" or 6'3", and so he's literally like a foot taller
Yeah, that's
than what they tried to recruit most tank crew for in World War II.
one of the Cold War tanks. I don't remember which of the series. Like one of the T-series tanks that that NATO was shitting themselves over apparently because it had a very low profile and like big powerful gun and stuff. I saw a clip where somebody was being interviewed about it, and it was American. And he was like, you know, when we finally got one and looked inside, it was a death trap, just like everything else the Soviets designed. And apparently it was Munchkin land inside. They would recruit tiny men to pilot it. But yeah, they had a savings in crew capacity by having the autoloader that would sometimes load your forearm into the gun. But hey, -1 crew member
Right.
in every sense of the word. Those autoloaders are really something. If you've ever seen them, it's like wild because they have a carousel for the ammunition under the turret. So somebody, presumably the gunner, will select something. It'll like revolve, send the round and propellant up, and then load it in. And it looks like it's about to break the whole time, but apparently it works.
Miracles of engineering.
Ta-da. They leaned hard into autoloaders. Like the Americans stuck with crew loaders, and honestly, like both of them have advantages. Because like an autoloader is not going to get tired, but a human loader can drag you out of the tank.
Yeah, and also fill other crew positions, and is, I think, faster.
Yeah, actually, I
Like a
think
trained loader is actually
overall
pretty
they're
fast.
faster. I think they won't break down as much.
But they have variance.
Yeah. So yeah, like there is actually, I believe, a valid case for either system.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're trying to like,
Focus on it, yeah.
yeah. Ugh, this is not looking very good in. Ooh. The camera is better than my eyes, is the problem.
Yes.
You need a loop?
I feel like what we need is
Maybe.
one of those stereo. Help me out here. Microscopes. Thank you. With the video attachment in them for the show. We do a lot of fiddly small stuff that would benefit from being put up on the screen.
Yeah, like that would be very cool.
Oh my god, I'm my father.
There. Oh, you put your glasses down? You
I
finally...
remember this.
Yeah.
I remember this exact. I was standing over there.
What? Yeah. What's the purpose of putting the glasses down? Does it like increase the magnification?
No, it's so I can look over them because they're scratched. Because I'm a cantankerous old man who isn't going to spend money on new glasses when these glasses are perfectly fine. I just can't look through them. The glasses are perfectly good,
Yeah,
Alex.
I know.
They're just scratched, is all, and I can't see anything through them, which is why I can't use them to look at things in fine detail. But they're perfectly fine.
Yep.
They're perfectly fine.
Yep.
Is it possible to get plastic like that polished by an optometrist?
Possibly.
Because
Sounds
don't
expensive. Do you think
know
I'm
what-
made out of money, Beej?
I go in to get my contact lenses polished every 3 months.
What?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
They're
And
they're special.
After about 2 years, I have to throw them away. Well, I can keep them because I can wear them in an emergency, but I'm not allowed to wear them anymore because they will probably just end up shattering in my eye at some point.
That's weird.
I know, it is weird.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so you would definitely lose the coating,
True.
which is the first thing to go anyway. I don't know. I assume that if a lens can be ground, it can be reground. Maybe what they don't want us to know is that you can just use like 1,000 grit sandpaper to get new glasses. Or go completely
toothpaste.
blind.
That's what they don't want you to know.
Yeah, I'm so skeptical of anything that like posits itself as being like that.
Just use some toothpaste and black salve.
I mean,
Oh no!
The other problem is that
Ever since I've been on popping, I know all about black salve
Oh
now.
god!
Because
Yeah.
they're like, is that black salve?
Yep.
They're going to die.
Yep.
Also, you have MRSA.
A what? I don't want.
What's the methicillin resistant?
Methicillin resistant staphylococcus.
Oh god. Black cell pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I brought it up, because I knew it pissed you off.
Awesome. You're such a good
I'm
friend.
a great friend.
Yeah. Unironically, but it's a good goof though.
it said you should be skeptical of anything the eyeglass industry tries to tell you or sell you.
Really? Is Big Eyeglass out?
The big eyeglass isn't gonna sell you black salve though.
I think we're down to about 2, or maybe we're down to 1.
Yeah, Luxottica is and I used to have Luxottica lenses or frames actually, and Luxottica basically owns 90 to 95% of all eyeglass manufacturing in the world. If you see a brand come up,
Yep.
it's owned by Luxottica.
Aren't there
Ray-Bans,
laws against
Red.
people having monopolies?
Right? Right. That's correct.
B1.
It's like, who said who manufactures all the voting machines? Oh, they're running? That's weird. Oh, but they said they wouldn't cheat.
My favorite are the ones that say outright that they will cheat, and we still hire them.
Oh my god. I do kind of like that we still do voting in Canada the hard way. In air quotes. It's not even the hard way. Like, we get results so fucking quick.
It's so
Yeah.
good. I mean, I guess though we're like 37 million people
Yeah.
versus 370 million people, but still, I mean,
yeah, but
I think
still.
it's worth waiting for. Like, accurate results are worth waiting for.
Also, because the people, the polling stations are like recruited from the community, it feels like we're involved as a community.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that job once
Yeah.
of like sitting in the voting office or the office.
Returning officer?
You have a bunch of like cranky people come up and it's like, "Where's my fucking card?" And you're like, "It's over there, sir. This is my first and last day doing this job." So it's not terribly sophisticated, but
Arclight makes a good point though that because Americans have an election day, so the ballots are amazingly thick. So,
Oh, right.
yeah, so you have to go through like voting on a ton of different shit.
blah.
And meanwhile, it's like, it seems like a lot of those jobs that they vote on down in the States are jobs that we either like just appoint or are civil servants that are hired to do a job. But yeah, I mean, like, we go to the polls and it's like, who are you? What are you voting for? I'm voting for
This.
I'm voting for an MP or I'm voting for my MLA.
Okay,
Or,
do you want this flavor or this flavor? There you go.
Yeah.
Have a sticker. Fuck off.
you're done. It's real weird that there's so much voting that goes on.
Hold
that
on.
you
What do
think
you
there
mean you
was.
vote for coroners?
Yeah. Sometimes you vote for the person who's going to run the coroner's office.
What?
Yeah.
That actually is a political
That whole
position.
thing about like it's like, oh, we have to vote for a dog catcher. In essence, that's
I've
true.
never heard that phrase in my life.
Really? Oh, I've heard that for years. It's like, we have to don't forget to vote for the dog catcher, and it's like, it's essentially true. There's a lot of counties where you're voting for anybody who works
Well,
in
it's
major
like-
parts in the county.
Who holds any kind of public office? Really?
Yeah. Not all of them apparently, but depending on how that works in their county.
That sounds like a lot of work,
Yeah.
but no free healthcare.
Yeah. It's very inefficient.
You don't say.
Yeah, and they don't make it like, I still think that. Well, I think that like we're doing in Canada now, where it's like, do you want an absentee ballot? Have one. Do you want to just do this on like, we have 5 days you can come in and vote?
Yeah, it's just like, here,
Yeah.
we'll make it easy for you. You vote? Do you want to vote? Do you have no ID? Doesn't matter. Okay, we'll figure something out. Are you a dog? You're probably an eligible voter. Please
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah,
We're
happy
we're,
to have
we're
you.
gonna go
Hey,
head
Jim,
over.
can you vote for this guy? Hell yeah!
It's interesting to me what locations get chosen for venues, because they just sort of like commandeer temporarily like a sort of public site.
Actually,
Yeah, like I've voted sometimes at the elementary school near my house and sometimes at a church near my house.
Yeah.
as someone who worked recently in elections.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult process.
It
finding
doesn't
those
surprise me.
locations, because you have to find a place large enough that is accessible to everyone in that region.
Right,
So-
it has to be an accessible building first
and it
of
has to
all,
be
right?
accessible too. That's the other issue.
It's like, is there wheelchair access and stuff like that?
Yes.
Because I voted at an elementary school, I've voted at a retirement home,
Oh.
and at a church.
So that's nice and easy here in the city to find those sorts of things.
We have many
Right.
church.
Northern BC,
Right.
try to find an area that's accessible to
Okay.
everyone there.
Everybody voted this tree.
And so it's like mail-in ballots become like a really great idea, where it can be like, I filled out my ballot, and then all I have to do is I just have to get it to the location to drop it off or something.
Yep.
That's what I mean by mail-in. Mail-in ballots, in terms of, we mail a ballot to your house, and we mail one to, I don't know, your partner who wants you to vote for how they're voting as opposed to how you want to vote, and they fill out both of your ballots, or they force you to vote a certain way. Like, that's actually a real problem that they think about.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like, I think it's an easy thing to say. It's like, oh, we should just do all this voting electronically. It's like, I'm given to understand there's quite compelling reasons, despite that being very convenient, why you would not want to do it that way.
Yeah, like whenever I've heard anything about electronic voting, InfoSec people have just like
You know,
come
like,
out of
you just
every
hear this
pore.
high-pitched like whine.
When I was
Every fan spins up.
when I was in university, there was a push to try to by a lot of open source people, because they're like, this is bullshit, and like, the rise of Linux and all this kind of stuff, right? And a lot of those guys were like, I think we can actually devise completely secure, completely anonymous, but completely like non-anonymous way to do electronic voting. And they worked and they worked and they worked on it for like 5 years, and I just kind of always came back to see how they were doing. And at the end of 5 years, they're like, we can't figure this out. Like, we've come up with so many great systems, but then we find ways that they fall apart.
It's like
Do you want Bitcoin? This is how you get Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's just like, if you thought elections were maybe rigged before, how about it's like, oh, it's all the votes went to this one candidate.
Yeah, I mean, by voting by paper, we're already giving up some method of, like, it's like, if we vote by paper, there's already problems with doing it that way. But at least it's a way that we've devised a method, and we've devised some ways to secure it.
Right, well, like voting by paper is not hugely secure, but it's faking it is very labor intensive.
Yeah.
Right? Like
There's
you,
a reason that
you need, if you want to spoil or corrupt a vote in a
That's
paper
a lot
ballot,
of paper.
it's a lot of people who
It's a-
have to suddenly keep a secret.
it's a reason. There's a reason that elections are stolen through other means, like gerrymandering.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was.
What if we just...
Oh yes, if we do it like robot jocks.
Apollo! Apollo!
Apollo. It's just like, so.
Do the president and the vice president have to like at the end over the credits?
Yup. To catch anybody up who's maybe not seen this 80s classic, Robot Jocks, it's in the future and
Spelled J-O-X, by the way.
warfare has been abolished.
Yes.
They just canceled war.
Yeah, they're like, we can't do this anymore.
We shouldn't war anymore. So, but instead, countries will elect a champion that will pilot a giant walking robot
Yeah.
that will fight an opposing giant walking robot. And like, isn't the first scene in the movie? It's like, this is about the like mineral exploitation rights of this region.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these two robots come out and they're like, they fucking beat each other up.
That idea we
Less stupid than nuclear war.
Actually,
that idea we all had back in grade 5.
the
Made
movie's
real.
awesome, by the
Yeah,
way.
the movie is ultra.
It's so ultra.
And it's practical effects up the wazoo.
Yeah, it's Ron Cobb, isn't it?
Oh shit! Is it?
I want to say the
Find out.
robots were
man.
done by Ron Cobb.
That would make a lot of sense.
Because it's like very ED209, right?
He did Terminator or RoboCop?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, those guys had their fingers in a lot of pies. Mm-hmm. You know, it's
Ron
like thanks.
Cobbed Ron
Thanks, yeah,
Cobb
Rusty.
helped design the robots.
Fucking awesome. It's just like, if it's not Cobb, it's Sid Mead.
Yeah.
Super BattleTech.
Yeah. Yeah, Sid Mead or occasionally Mobius.
I want to be fair. This, as you say, this movie is awesome. It's not good.
No,
it's not
no,
even
no. Oh,
good.
yeah, it's a very bad film.
Go to the dictionary, look up the word awesome.
It's a fucking killer.
It makes you realize that they're, in the classical sense, yes, it is awesome. It inspires awe
You're like,
in the existence of God, who hates you because this movie got made.
Trent Reznor sampled sounds for one of Nine Inch Nails' albums.
No kidding. Which one?
That's so fucking cool. I'll never get over that Trent Reznor did.
Do all that at the same time?
I do so enjoy our greatest hits.
Oh man. Trent Reznor did the soundtrack for Quake, including the sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Trent Reznor going.
Fucking.
It was The Becoming, which was
Oh.
on The Downward Spiral.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so wicked.
Yeah, okay. This is fantastic.
So far, the hardest thing about this model has been putting these tiny ass stickers on this goddamn gun.
I know, right?
It's tricky.
I want to get a good shot of this the next time I put them on, which
know,
will be
I've
very
always-
soon.
Speaking of movie samples, I've always wondered what movies VNV Nation sampled.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah,
he
yeah.
used like audible clips from movies.
Well, he uses a lot of news as well.
Yeah. Over an acre of ground lay dead and dying people.
Which is, like, that's kind of a loaded sample to use.
A little bit, but yeah, you're just like, this sounds like maybe I've heard it before or something. And I was like, what movie would that be? I'm sure that there's like a database somewhere where somebody's like painstakingly figured it out. I will say one of the weird experiences with music I've had recently is watching all these free Shaw Brothers martial arts films on YouTube. A bunch of them, I guess when they did the dub or whatever, they just swiped music from like Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
like-
Is it like Turkish Star Wars level of, like...
It's like, yeah, it's. I'm trying to remember some of the other soundtracks. It's like a lot of obvious soundtracks. I feel like a bunch of them used Tangerine Dream,
Huh.
and it might have been the soundtrack from Sorcerer,
Wow.
which is like really weirdly specific.
Not Journey of the Sorcerer.
No, Sorcerer, the remake of Wages of Fear, both of which are excellent movies. Have I told you about these?
Yeah, Wages of Fear is the one with the Mexican truck drivers, right?
Yeah, it's either Mexico or like South America.
Right.
Where it's like this impoverished town. They're just like, hey, who wants a shitty job? There's an oil fire over there, and we need you to transport all this nitroglycerin in the worst trucks imaginable, and we'll pay you some money. Have fun.
At the end, there will be a paying.
A payment will occur.
A payment should occur.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's like a French language black and white film, and it's just like, if you ever wanted to like claw the armrests off of your chair watching
Just like
something.
Sphincter Factor 5
Yeah,
for
just
2
like
hours.
you're picking, like upholstery out of your butt.
Right.
Because yeah, it's like these really ramshackle trucks loaded with, nitroglycerin, driving over the most hostile terrain imaginable. Like there's a sequence where they find this bridge that hasn't been maintained in like 100 years, and the younger guy is just like, I'm gonna drive over that, and the older guy's like, no, don't, and he gets out his penknife and pushes it into the rotted wood, and it just sinks in like it's made out of like,
Oh.
it's like, ah! But yeah, Sorcerer was a 70s remake.
Okay.
Same story, like different actors, different characters, but like the same premise. I think the location might have been changed. They made it a little different where instead of nitroglycerin, it's like really, really, really old dynamite that has
Oh,
sweated,
right.
that has
Yeah.
sweated out.
Yeah, like you were telling me about one part where he,
Yeah.
one of the guys sticks his hand into the crate
Yeah,
and
and
pulls
there's-
it out, and his hand is wet.
Yeah,
And he flicks it.
yeah, it
and-
goes off like machine gun shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like got a wax paper liner, and they open up this shack that's like all grown over with ivy and creepers and stuff. And one guy talks to the other, and he's just like, "When were these last turned?" And he's like, "Turned?"
Turned.
It's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Remember, kids, turn your dynamite.
Please turn your dynamite.
I forgot about the chainsaw there.
I
Hoss.
forgot about that too. Buzzsaw dick.
The drill dozer.
Drill dozer. Drill dozer.
Like the Idiocracy wasn't a great film, but it did have one of my favorite lines of all time, which I think I've told Chad about many
Your shit's
times.
all fucked up.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
No, it had it was between the two intelligent characters, the two people of
Normal intelligence?
yeah, average intelligence. And they're having this conversation in private about what it's like to live with everyone who's stupid. And he says, "Do you think Einstein felt like this?" And she says, "Now you know why he built that bomb." Which is like just the acme of what stupid people think.
Holy cow.
That's amazing.
Like it was just like bam bam, right? Like this serve and then spike. And it was perfect. It was great. It
That's
was just like
perfect.
Why he built
that bomb.
that bomb.
That film also has my favorite piece of art,
I don't
which was
think
the
that,
artist's depiction from The Judge.
I don't think that you can be like you have to be pretty smart to write that dumb.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's
Yes.
very challenging. It's
And I
actually
think it's you're right. It's incredibly challenging to write somebody dumb, but dumb in a way that's believable.
And funny.
Yeah.
Instead of just frustrating.
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually an art making stuff not only stupid but shitty as well. Andrew Hussey's very good at that. He is a connoisseur of making things shitty. Like,
Like if there was an academic journal shit posting, he would be the editor.
probably, and the cover would be like a stretched photograph of a horse that was just like run through JPEG artifacting several times.
Huh.
I should probably read Homestuck too.
The number 2?
No, there's like a sequel.
Oh, okay, yes, good. That's what I mean.
I think it's a sequel.
Yes, I think it's fan produced, Hussey approved.
Yeah, like he's supervising the
Maximum fun.
creation of additional content.
Okay.
I think we did that before with Paradox Space.
Okay, we got the good. This is the hard one. Move that out of the way. It's the long ass strip that goes around the whole top edge.
This is not good. I have not done a good job on this.
Looks pretty good to me. I mean, I
No.
don't have my glasses down, but Command Show.
Yep.
President Command Show. He's gonna fix all the crops and shit. They're watering the crops with power thirst.
It's got what plants crave.
Which is salt.
Water? Like from the toilet?
I love that that's the first idea. That's where water comes from. It's the first thing they think of. Not rain, not rivers,
The toilet.
the toilet.
You know, where you puke after a bender.
Yeah.
Where the dog gets water.
I don't remember seeing any pets in that movie.
That's because they were fucking smart.
Yeah, they just took off.
Well, no, the movie producers never work with pets or children.
True, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, yeah, we never saw kids in that film.
also because they're smart.
Yeah,
There were kids at the very end.
at the very end, yes.
Yeah, like, it's one of those half jokes of movie making. It's like never work with children or animals. It's like, but actually, like, do everything you can to avoid it.
Yep.
Because they're just like uncontrollable. I think animals especially, like, they just won't do what you want them to.
How would you explain to your children that you were like asleep you and your mom were both asleep in tanks for like what was it, 100 years, 1,000 years? I can't remember how long the thing was again. That he was like they were in these tanks.
I'd wait
500
for a
years.
while.
Right? You wait until there's a certain age. It's like I need to tell you something.
I think it may have been that in Transmetropolitan, Transmetropolitan is a science fiction comic book series set in the future, in the distant future, and it's set in the city. And there are people in it called revivals, and revivals are people who are put into cryogenic stasis with incurable diseases in their time to be woken up in the future when their diseases were trivially curable. And one of the issues follows one of these people around, and the first thing she asks is, "What year is it?" And the caption is, "The tech did the worst thing imaginable, which is he told her the truth." So it never tells you what the year is. But like, I always like the interpretation of that line that the truth is we don't know what year it is because they don't know what year it is.
Oh.
I like that.
Huh. Yeah, right. Wake up and say, "What year is it?" And the person says, "We don't know."
Yeah,
Okay,
we were
fine,
hoping you could tell us.
Yeah, that's
That whole-
terrifying.
That whole sequence is so fascinating because these poor people become kind of welfare cases because they, the companies that they paid to have themselves stored are following the stipulations of their contract to the letter. So they resuscitate them and then they're like, "You're not our fucking problem anymore." It's like,
Yeah.
we're honoring a contract that was signed a long time ago. Enjoy.
Yeah, goodbye.
And they have extreme culture shock. They can't adapt, and they just end up like kind of crazy and
Yeah,
homeless.
the only reason that Fry survives in Futurama in that same situation is because he's an idiot.
And it's a comedy,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yeah, so like the main character in the comic winds up kind of not adopting one of these people, but like, checking in on her because it turns out that she was a journalist as well in her own time, right? And it talks
Kinship.
about all of her stories that she wrote and submitted and all the photos she took and talking about like how she was there when Nelson Mandela was released from prison and when the Berlin Wall came down.
I thought Nelson Mandela died in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, you're just
God.
reciting you're reciting the lyrics to "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones.
Oh, right. Well, there you go.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
All
The moral is don't try anything.
right.
I gotta get one of those.
Which?
Your little doohickey.
Oh yeah, it's infuriating how useful it is.
Yeah, one of those it's like the made or as seen on TV products that are actually good, and you're like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be good. This should be a piece of garbage that is like destined for a landfill, but it actually does what I want it to. Fuck.
And to be fair, I mean, this is destined for a landfill somewhere on a long enough
Yeah,
timeline.
but
Yeah.
so are you and I.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything I own is. I'm not having any children.
I mean, I think the implication there is like after one or fewer
yeah.
Oh,
uses.
Yeah.
Which brings us neatly back to over merchandising. I think that's one of my big beefs with it. It's just like, this doesn't need to exist. And not even from a, like, I don't understand the appeal and, like, I'm trying to make a case for people not having what they enjoy. It's just like, this is a pointless object. It's just there to leverage brand recognition and waste material.
Yeah.
Boo. I'm hoping that there's like a resurgence of hand fabricated stuff. I mean, partly because I think that's cool, and learning crafts is cool, and also practical.
Now, do you hope that there's a resurgence of people actually wanting handcrafted stuff, or the appearance of handcrafted stuff?
Actual.
Because I can tell you what you're actually going to get.
No, well, we already have that. Like, don't get me started on like distressed products. It's like, I'm going to buy something that has simulated damage that is pre-broken.
I saw a pair of
For
pants.
style.
Yeah, I saw a pair of jeans
Yep.
that were listed as like ladies whatever, acid wash, destroyed.
Destroyed.
And I loved that they just wrote because it had
Destroyed.
massive holes in it, right? But the fact that they actually chose distressed,
No, destroyed.
yes,
Have you
That's a word they use on certain video sites.
right?
have you ever seen the machines that make distressed jeans?
Oh, with the lasers?
The lasers
It's-
are fantastic.
That's
It's
cool.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because they have a fixed, like, stencil, well, like a pattern in the CPU, and the laser beam just goes,
So let me make life hard for you, Alex.
oh, why?
An artist had to design that distressing pattern,
So?
which means that there's creative effort being put into that. Someone put effort, work, and grew their skills.
You're a
in
real
order to do that.
motherfucker, you know that?
Why do you hate artists?
I'm so angry. I can't believe it. You just, like, hear this high-pitched whine and this, like, little tiny stream of blood shooting from my forehead.
Just like from the middle, right? Like,
I just like do the Cucullin berserk, where like one of his eyes pops out and the other sinks back, and like blood shoots out of his forehead. I've never like read any of that legend, but apparently that's what he would do. He would get real nuts, and the only thing that they managed to do was like they distracted him with like a bunch of naked chicks,
huh.
and then like pushed him into a tub of water that flashed to steam instantly.
That's very anime. That's the Red Book of Kells, isn't it?
Maybe. Are there? I mean, ask an Irishman.
That was a fantastic film.
Or no, that's the Mabinogion.
Oh, that's so weird. Bzzz.
So close.
I mean, like, this makes me think about like the commodification of memes themselves, which is really weird to think about. Like the point that we've gotten to where there's like meme generator templates,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like I don't even know how to describe the sort of state that we've arrived in. It's very strange because like in my day, and this isn't even necessarily with like a sense of like nostalgic fondness. There's maybe a little bit of that, but it's just like people would make goofy, weird internet shit because they thought it was funny and it made them laugh, and it would probably make other people laugh. What that sort of success looks like now is like, I hope I make it to page 1 of Reddit.
I hope my work gets subsumed into a generator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that's how you know you made it. It's like you get aggregated and then you get like 14 watermarks that get progressively trimmed back off and put back on. So, may we live in interesting times.
I do find it fun that there's so much out there that I still find funny, and that it's
Yeah.
still coming.
It's
That gives me hope.
you still have to look for it. I think I kind of find the the subversive stuff to be funnier, maybe just because it like tickles that like this annoys me thing.
Yeah.
But then sometimes even that like turns on its head. There was a tweet I retweeted like just today. It was simply your vampire name is your dad's name backwards. And I thought that shit was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about
Yeah.
Because it's a Dracula Alucard joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the entire joke. Next joke.
it's,
Every single comment is someone spelling their dad's name backwards.
the thing is, Alex, it's wonderfully ironic for you because your father's vampire name would be Neck.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like, it was a weird experience. Just being like, people don't get this joke, but they're still able to they're still engaging with it in some way.
Yeah.
It's like I have no fucking idea how I feel about that.
The poor guy whose dad is named Bob.
So yeah, it's just like it was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I stick this? Okay, those fold back and reveal other holsters for different guns.
Alucard isn't just a Castlevania thing,
No.
No.
is he?
No.
No. Okay, yeah, no. Like he goes.
Yeah.
Was it? When was that character introduced?
Oh. Don't know.
But yeah, he goes back further than that.
It's like whenever somebody posts one of those credit card number or
Yeah,
personal
well-
information generator things, right? Where they're like, your porn name is the name of your street and the cat that you used to pet.
I fucked up.
Uh-huh. Did
Maybe
you
you
do
saw,
it?
no. Maybe you saw this tweet today. I said, reply to this tweet with word salad or gibberish to throw off the
Like the aggregators?
the aggregators.
Yeah.
And I had to mute that thread because I started getting afraid because I thought I was having a stroke. Like people sent some very good gibberish. And I just like scrolled and it's like I feel like I'm getting brain damage. Like this is starting to frighten me a little bit.
Awesome.
It was a good tweet, but it's just like I have to
You have
step
to
away
bow
from
out
this
of this
because
one.
it's too scary.
Real good.
Because
The tweet is good,
Yeah.
but the story kills it.
oh,
Like, it's so good. Holy shit.
because like some of them are just like complete nonsense, and that's funny. But like some of them, the best word salads are the ones that just hold together enough that like it's like those images made by DeepMinds.
Right,
Where
right,
It's like, what is this? And you're just like, ugh. Your brain just like has to have a lie down.
They swapped out one word for a completely different word, but they have the same like couple letters in them.
Yeah.
So you're like, did I just read that right?
It's like that. George Carlin did a bit about that. It's like this sentence has never been said, and he like has a bunch of stuff that he says.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, oh, wow,
toe to tip, that's a Gundam.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
Gundam style.
Well, let's get we'll get that moved down a little bit.
Well, only a few leftover pieces, which I'm sure are used for something I either missed or are spares.
Reeling.
Oh, no, I know where they go!
Oh, you
Not
figured
done
it
at
out?
all. You lied to us.
There you go.
Hurrah!
These white pieces go here and here.
You lied to us. Why did you lie to us?
Oh, let me just put them on, and then I'll say I'm done.
Okay. I was like, are they like shoe covers?
Yes, they are literally just the lace covers,
Oh, okay.
so that nobody
Every
can...
good cosplay needs some shoe covers.
Saw the best General Grievous cosplay the other day.
Oh yeah, I saw a link to that. How was it?
It was, the trick is that they use the cloak to hide the actor, and it's just the General Grievous puppet on the outside.
He was 100% CGI in the movie, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Wait, maybe these don't go in the feet.
You want to check that again?
If only there was some kind of document.
Yes.
That had step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, if I just guess, it'll be fine.
Yeah. The thing with the prequel trilogy is they're not 100% CGI. Like people,
Yeah, like I remember seeing that. There's shocking amounts of like live sets and
like the arena. It was funny because somebody was just like the pod racing stands. People are like, "Oh, this looks so fucking fake," and it's like stupid CG. And it's like every one of those spectators is a Q-tip that's being dyed by hand.
really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they did that crowd scene.
Huh.
They're all just like colored Q-tips, or something similar.
That looks
Adam
terrible.
Savage worked on that.
That looks awful. Oh my god.
Nah, bless you.
It's like a first pass.
That is...
Do not be hard on yourself.
there you go.
yet.
Huh.
Neat, huh?
Damn.
Air is blown through the stands to make the Q-tips jiggle. That's fucking cool.
Oh, wow.
God, I love miniatures.
Oh wow.
Practical effects forever.
For those of you watching who don't know what they're wowing at, it's the images that are scrolling by in chat.
It's the one that Corvus just posted.
Yeah, go watch Blade Runner, the new one, again, because they used a lot of practical effects and they look real freaking cool. I love how Wallace Tower is so big you can't even really comprehend how big it is.
Is that the arcology?
Yeah, well, I mean, they almost cheated by having it dwarf Tyrell Corporation. There's like Tyrell Corporation, pan over. Wallace Corporation. You're like, oh, I see how it is.
I'm calling
You
that
versus
done.
the guy she tells you not to worry about?
Maybe they just Tyrell just built theirs further underground.
It's forced perspective.
Yeah.
Put the rocket in reverse.
So where'd they go, Ian?
They went on the hands.
Oh, the gauntlet covers.
Yeah, for the fist hands, for the gun holding, for the gun damming.
I do like a good fisting.
So I'm going to call that, the episode. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry here today. And thank you to Cam and Alex for joining me on this this fun little adventure
Always a
through
pleasure.
plastic.
Thank you for having us, Ian. Always.
I already had him.
And thank you, of course, to those of you who are in the chat who are not saying anything. We love all of you who are lurkers, and especially love you, those of you who are watching on YouTube. Shout out to you. But those of you who are our favorite, not really our favorite.
Well, hang on. Let's not play favorites.
Yeah, no. Just you're the people whose names we're going to say right now are the people who've given us funds via Twitch.tv.
Yeah, you don't have like a Sophie's chat here.
Deej, what would you like to say?
Did you want to do the upcoming shows then the subs?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, let's see if this works. I hit a button. Nothing happened. So
Okay.
I'm going to do something else.
Just keep hitting buttons till something happens.
I had this thought that it was going to work perfectly, and it didn't, so whatever.
So tomorrow it's the Friday night paper fight at 5 p.m. where the crew will be playing they're drafting a Cons of Tarkir cube.
It's
Yeah.
it's a team sealed?
A team sealed cube, as we discussed.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
the plot of Cube 2, Hypercube.
Sorry.
That
Wait,
is
what-
not what was supposed to happen.
Okay, and then on Saturday, Adam's Game House will be occurring at the usual time, where Adam will be playing more Persona 5.
That's what I wanted. There we go.
Sunday, Rhythm Cafe returns at 4 p.m. with the Cadence of Hyrule expansion
Hyrule.
pack.
Hyrule.
Hyrule. And then Monday, Dice Friends. This guy, and that guy,
And that guy.
and the big guy, and Corey.
Gee,
I'm going to put aliens inside all of them.
I'm
thank
looking
you.
forward to
All
it.
right.
They're all going to have babies.
Oh, that's really gross.
Then at 10 a.m., Mine O'Clock returns on Tuesday. James, Uno, and Serge do their crafting of mines, of blocks, and Java. And Disco Elysium returns to Talking Simulator.
It's so good.
I really just have to play this, don't I?
You find out at one point, this is not really a spoiler at all, that the other cops in your precinct have a nickname for you.
Oh,
It's Tequila Sunset, which is probably the meanest nickname I've ever heard in my life.
Youch.
It's brutal. Like, it's breathtakingly cruel.
so tune in for that. And on Tuesday afterwards, the Loud Boys are starting a brand new playthrough of Silent Hill.
Just the first one?
They've never played the Silent Hill games ever,
Yeah.
apparently.
So they're going to start with this one, and I guess they'll see where it goes from there. Watch and Play returns on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Where Alex, are you ready for Watch and Play?
Never.
No. And we'll be playing Discover Lands Unknown on AFK that very evening, which brings us to the Long Games pre-show checkpoint.
Hey, come on!
Wow! 12 p.m. Followed by Magic the Gathering, Magic, and Gloomhaven on the Long Game. So,
The very long game.
All right, actually, we should announce this too because it's fun.
oh yeah, that's right.
We'll be doing a Valentine's special.
Ooh.
Two-Headed Giant. It's a double date on Valentine's Day. So look forward to that because I believe we were being supplied some stuff from Card Kingdom for that. And
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know much of what we're allowed to talk about in regards to that. So, but that's what I can say so far.
But if that's your thing, it's going to be fun.
And
That is not a lie. Yes. Sunday, we have a special bonus Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry Texan Reverence coming up from his home to build a whole speaker system with amplifier and flat panel speakers.
so I know
Exciting.
we're 10 days ahead at this point, but still. And then immediately after that, you have to go into.
Rhythm Cafe, and then we're back to Monday.
All right.
So, as we were saying before, let's thank our subs.
Great.
And our Doms.
Lucha Libro has been around for 31 months. Thank you.
Vidarium is returned for the 23rd month. Thank you.
Senovan for 7 months. Welcome back.
Thank you to Aslan121 for 16 months of resubscription.
Scar, Red, Tiger has returned for the 43rd month. Thank you.
It's Hodnall and Dot for 22 months. Welcome back.
Big ups to Count Zero for 30 months of subby.
Dark Morford has returned for the 70th month. Thank you.
Back. Revenant77X for 35 months. Welcome back.
Thank you to Lucidic.
Lucidique CA, maybe? Lucidique.
Whatever it is,
The Lucidica,
we're happy you're
the
here.
Luci-
Thank you for being a new subscriber.
Darwin's Folly has returned for the 37th month. Thank you.
Havoc 4 for 74 months. Welcome back.
Cheers to Pangugi for 31 months.
Leals has returned for the 36th month. Happy
Hey.
3-year.
One True Seth for 72 months. Welcome back.
Adler, 1,202 for 4 months. Thank you so much.
General Purpose has returned for the 12th month. Happy 1 year.
Drazoth for 43 months. Welcome back.
Zenguin, 47, 28 months. Thank you.
Burgor Tariff has returned for the 37th month. Speaking of things that make you feel like you have...
Yeah,
Yeah.
aphasia. Snake Ace for 25 months. Welcome back.
Lord Byron, 47 for 38 months. Getting close.
Guy in Luck has returned for the 21st month. Thank you.
The Ambivalent Gender.
Take again.
2. What?
Take that one more time.
The Ambivalent Agender.
God damn it. The Ambivalent Agender.
Argon Athium has been a subscriber for 29 months. Thank you.
Alaro, 56, has returned for the 30th month.
Lotus Position for 44 months. Assume it.
Memnus, thank you for returning for a second month.
Agar has returned for the 3rd month.
T-Dom Camp for 15 months. Welcome back.
Thank you to Madam Adversary. Cheers.
Armstrong, 11139, has returned for the 35th month.
JPSS 92400. Call. 12 months.
Basil Hunter has been hunting for 38 months.
Caffeinated Lemur has returned for the 78th month. Thank you.
And thanks for 819 bits. H-Bomb and friends. Sorry. Type 1, Coffee Princess, Brozard, and not Kane nor Abel.
Perfect. That's it for the show today. Thank you so much once again for watching. We will see you in a fortnight, barring that bonus stream where we'll be finishing up the Dreamcast. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Ever forward.
Never learning.
Go home.